This is Sparta!
Welcome, everybody, to the Lethal Geeks Podcast, episode 29. I am your host, Costello, Sergeant Riggs. My partners, please introduce yourselves. You know who you are.
Charles Murtaugh.
Rock Talks. Leo gets in the house tonight. How is everybody doing?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Pretty
It's been a
good.
while. It's been a while, guys. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
Charles, how
has
you been, man? Charles,
been
you,
pretty good.
you're
Yeah,
good.
I've
You're
been
good.
pretty
You're
good.
good, Charles. You're good.
Yeah.
You do good. You
I'm
rocks.
doing all right.
I'm all right, brother.
You're
It's
great.
always fun.
You're doing
And
great.
Every time we're together with the Lethal Geeks, it's always a good time, homie.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Let's say hello to the chat before. My friend, I love this man. Aaron,
Salute
What's
to
up,
you,
Aaron?
Aaron.
Amanda, I'm right here. I'm trying to find which you just told it was. My bad.
My bad.
I think
You're in the
that's,
right place.
I think
You're in
that's
the
one
right
of our
place.
friends. Awesome. Thank you for being
You're in the
here,
right
Amanda.
place. Philip Nassa. All right, be watching my. All right, no problem. Thanks, bro. Dennis, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? How you doing? We got
Awesome.
here Chris Thermo.
Chris
Welcome back.
Thermo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gilmore Girls, I missed you so much. Gilmore Girls, how you been? Who else we got here? NGZ, what's up, y'all?
Hey, what's up?
Divas, how you doing? Monique
Rupley.
Rupley. Okay, I said it right. Happy Batman Day. Yes, today is Batman
That's
Day,
right.
guys. Absolutely. Who else we got here before we move on?
Actually, real quick,
Vasquez.
let them know we just dropped a new video for
Yes,
Batman
I'm
Day.
about that's exactly where I was going. So, guys, we have officially launched our first comic book review in One Shots Comic Books. And in honor of Batman Day, I reviewed issue 1 of Batman. This comic
Nice.
book was dope. It was dope. It definitely changes a lot of things, but I appreciated the boldness risk that they did with this comic. So hopefully you guys, like I said, the video is already launched. Whenever the show is over, you guys can go and watch it. And please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. Helps out
Hit
the
that hype
algorithm,
button.
guys.
The hype button, guys.
The hype button. Yes, the hype.
Oh
I see
yeah,
that on the
that's
video.
that new thing I noticed now. Like right before you try to
I-
leave a comment, it says the hype
Yep.
button right there, and it
Yeah.
kind of
The hype button. Yeah. I mentioned that on the video this time because I know remember you told me
Yeah.
to
Well, it's
say about
really
the
good
hype
for smaller creators because what it does is it puts you on a chart, right? And the top 100 most hyped videos get up on that chart. So it's not restricted to just the big YouTubers. So it's awesome for guys like us, actually. So yeah, make sure you guys
perfect.
hit that hype button.
Awesome. All right. So Charles, if you'd be the honors, as always, you know the rules.
All right.
Sure, we
Rules
don't
of the platforms, you know what time it is. I don't have a script to read or anything like that. Just treat everybody in here with respect. I don't care what side of the fandom you fall on, whether you're a Snyder fan, Gunn fan, Nobody fan, Reeves fan, doesn't really matter what fan you are. If you come in here and you disrespect people and we see it in the chat, you'll get warned just once. If you keep doing it, you're getting bounced and you're just going to get banned. And that's pretty much it. So please, everybody, show some respect for our guests, us, and people in the chat. We appreciate that.
Well said, Charles. Well said.
Absolutely. And listen, guys, it's been a very interesting set of events that has happened. I actually going to confess something.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I saw Superman.
So
Everybody's like, heresy. I'm going to explain why I saw this movie because our honored guest, who we'll bring in a minute, saw a movie that we all cherish deeply in our hearts, and also appreciated the art, the way it was done, it was created, it was how it was delivered. And he said when he sort us a shout out last night, he was going to watch the movie again to prepare for the show now. And that even gave me, what's the word I'm looking for? It inspired me to, you know what, put my ego aside and my pride. And I decided to watch Superman. I haven't done watching it yet because I was getting ready for the show and I'm doing everything. So I'm only an hour and like 15 minutes in.
Dude,
so,
you're struggling that hard, eh?
No. It's not that I was stopping. It's just.
No, not stopping. I said you're struggling with the movie that hard.
Oh, that's.
Hey, tell the truth, man. How many times you throw up in your mouth?
Oh, I can't say that. There's no I can't say that. Plus, you know, I'm a gentleman. Plus, I have someone who's watching me, so I can't say things. So, salud para ti, si tú sabes quién eres. So, I gotta watch my mouth tonight.
Okay.
If you know,
all right.
You know. Okay. So, bottom line is, I decided to watch Superman, and I'm like I said, I'm like it's like 50 minutes left to watch it, but overall most of the scenes I've already seen online. So, but because Flix took the time to rewatch it again, I said fuck it, I'm going to do the same thing and I'm going to watch Superman so we can be par and have a actual debate and compare apples with oranges between us as DC fans and a general honest cinephile like our guest. So please, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, and this gentleman, if you have not subscribed to his channel, link will be in the description, and go and enjoy his movie reviews because this guy is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Flix Talk.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you. Appreciate you guys, man, for reaching out. I was just talking about this because I do 3 live shows a week myself, and I was like, I don't know what it is, why the sub count or something. People are afraid to reach out to me to pick my brain on a podcast. Like, I have not been a part of a podcast for months and months and months, and it's something that we're going to get into my journey, but I started off doing like all of these panel collab, talk about movie news and movie reviews and stuff like that. And then I started doing more pre-recorded stuff, which you guys are doing now. And people stopped hitting me up. So thank you guys, you 3, for reaching out. I mean, I know we're talking about a specific movie, and I'm more of like a general audience. And just thank you guys so much for reaching out. You know, I'm not going to bite hard, obviously, you know, but I am going to give you guys my honest and raw opinion. And I'm glad you guys reached out about this topic in specifically, because I do feel, and I said this in my review, that I'm the general, like the perfect audience as someone that only watched the first 2 Superman movies, the Christopher Reeve movies I'm talking about, and then the brand new one, which Castillo, you said you watched or part of it last night.
Today,
and,
just now.
Just now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just now. And I did see it in theaters, and I actually saw it early because it was like some Amazon Prime like exclusive thing.
Oh, so you did the okay? You were the one of the Amazon guys.
Yes, I went into this completely blind. I was super excited because I was like, this is my first Superman experience. Like, this will be my first in theaters.
Superman in theaters, yeah,
in theaters experience. And I saw it in IMAX. God, IMAX is getting crazy. It was like $27 for a ticket. I mean, I don't know if that's a lot for you guys, but that's a lot for me.
Yeah,
that is very expensive. And I'm Canadian, so it's even more over here.
So I definitely had my thoughts with it. I mean, we'll get into that.
2013, that was 4 tickets right there.
Yeah. Right? Inflation is a bitch. Yeah, and I'm sure we'll talk about the numbers too, because that's another thing everybody was arguing with me about, is about the inflation compared to, Man of Steel versus Superman and yada yada. Okay. But as far as my journey goes, guys, I start off like you guys, just for a passion of the entertainment sphere of movies in general, whether it's actors, whether it's directors, just movies, and as a whole. Comic books for me wasn't a big part of my childhood personally. It was more the collecting of the comic book cards. Remember that the X-Men Flair 94 and all that stuff?
Yeah.
That was my jam. So I was collecting those kind of cards back in the day. I had the booklets full of them, the sleeves and the clear sleeves and all that stuff. I have them somewhere in my mom's attic or something. But I used to collect like a fool, man, and a fiend. But my thing never really dove into the comic books too much. But I was always watching movies from a very, very young age. And it was mainly when my parents separated when I was about 11 years old. You know, if you guys know anybody, parents of divorce and whatnot, you would go to dad's house usually on the weekends or mom's house on the weekends. And Friday night, you'd pick up some pizza. You go to Blockbuster, Hollywood Video. You get those 3 movies, man. You get those 3 movies. So my dad was always showing
experience, boy. Man.
You know.
Yep.
So my dad would always get, you know, like an action movie, horror movie for himself, and then you get the kids movie, right, for the kid. I have 2 other siblings. So at that time, the kids movie and whatnot, but I would always sneak out to watch whatever dad was watching, right? He'd be watching a lot of Stephen King movies, believe it or not. He watched a lot of like The Dead Zone, Shining, Silver Bullet. I remember it as like one of my first horror movies of all time. So it was just one of those experiences where I was always fascinated with cinema at a young age. And then later on, I just kind of took my love for computers, and my dad was a computer IT too. So he taught me about computers at a very young age, just kind of putting them together and taking them apart, fixing them if I needed to. And then, after high school, I got really deep into it. My first job was working at a movie theater. So I think that's the best.
Really? Nice.
If you have any young audience members that are asking about jobs, I don't know about now. The game might have changed a little bit, but working at a movie theater was the most fun job I've ever had. I was only there for a year.
Bro,
I worked my first job. I worked in a theater and Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get that far.
Theater. Yeah.
Yeah. But so you guys know that, you're around people all the time. You're doing shitty jobs like cleaning up and stuff like that.
It's a crazy experience just being around all of that, man. And you just absorb everything that you see in all of these movies that come out. You get to see movies for free and stuff like that. So yeah, dude, same here, man. At a young age, I picked it up. My first like major cinematic experience was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I saw that when drive-ins were popular. So so way back then. So that was like part of my love for science fiction in general. But that was my first experience. And then after that, I love movies.
That's a great first big movie too. I actually since I've been doing reactions on my channel for like the last like 4 or 5 years, Close Encounters of the Third Kind was one of my reactions. That one blew me away. And there's something, we talked about it like pre-show, is that movies had this feeling back then, man. You had to hit on all cylinders, right? You had to have the great acting. You had to have the director, even the producers, but also the cinematic score.
The score. Man, the score, yeah.
Everything had to align to make it a great movie. And I understand where things are going with streaming, where it's more of a quantity over quality. At least that's how I feel. I know people that go to the movie theater every single weekend, sometimes twice a week. And that's what I used to do. I was an AMC Stubs member, and I recently I wasn't going as much as I wanted to make it worth it. There's still great movies out there. Trust me. I just find, more solace in the movies of yesteryear, or the ones that my channel recommends to me. But going back to kind of the journey at hand is that we started this channel, the Flix Talk channel, and I say we because it was a collective effort. This is a very community-based channel over on Flix Talk. I'm the speaking head for it, but it took so much people's inputs and all these collaborations. And I used to do a live show with this guy, Movie Files, who's big now, this guy, Elliot. So like people that have taken their love for fandom, their fandom for movies or just entertainment in general in the entertainment sphere, and have broke off and branched off and just continue to talk movies. And that's what it's about, is giving your opinions on these movies, whether someone likes it or they disagree. I really wish just people would agree to disagree. If you don't like something, you don't have to watch it.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Because
you're preaching to we've been saying that for years
since we started this show. It's been one of the number one things that we always hit on is that there's always common ground. We can find some common ground. We can agree to disagree. It just seems like we're in this culture right now where people don't want to do that. They just they don't. So
and we do open panels
where we bring on where we'll bring on anybody. Invite people, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. There needs to be more discourse and more disagreements, I think, because you do have a lot of panel shows out there, but for the most part, it's everybody's agreeing with something, right? You got to have something to disagree with so you can kind of just see how the other side thinks or see how they're seeing it, right? Or jump in their shoes for a little bit and say, okay, I understand your points.
They're too worried about being or disappointing somebody, it seems like, you know what I mean? They might be disappointing a friend or they might be disappointing whoever, but they just agree, and then to avoid like real honest talk. And if there's no truth in it, then what's the point? You can say you don't like something, you just don't have to be stupid about it. Have some intellect. Why didn't you like it? Break it down. What was it about it? Give an honest critique, as opposed to just saying something sucks and you didn't like it and that's all you got. So
How many times do you see comments of people saying, "Oh, this movie looks like," or "This movie is shit"? Have you seen it? No, I haven't seen it, but I know it's shit. Oh, well, you don't know then.
Oh, we get that all the time. All the time.
Yeah. So
with the movie that we're going to talk about, we get that on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah, no, I can understand it. So, after a while, guys, I just kind of, did the live shows, but I was doing a lot of movie reviews too. So pre-recorded stuff. And, somehow I think it was a buddy of mine who was also dabbling in movie reactions. And I reached out to him. I was like, how can I do that? Because there's so many movies that people recommend and I would love to get, my first time reactions on it. I'm sure I can do it. I just don't know how to do it. So he let me know how he did it. I kind of worked my magic.
But that's another conversation we actually want to have with you, because we tried. Sure. We tried to get into that space. We attempted it. And it's like, no matter what we did, YouTube's like, nope. Copyright.
It's a lot of editing.
It's like, oh my
God. It is a lot of editing. It's very, very tedious. If you guys don't have an editor, please hire one or something. But I do everything here, by the way. The thumbnails, the editing, the recording, everything.
Man.
And I have a full-time job too. It sucks, but
that's incredible, because like with our show here, we all have certain roles. Like we all have certain jobs when it comes to pushing this podcast and doing certain things. So to hear that you're taking on that entire responsibility on yourself with a full-time job, bro, like I give you all the props in the world, because I know
my friend.
If it wasn't for these two gentlemen who I work with here, I could not do this alone. And I think we all feel that same.
Charles is our cinephile of the podcast. Rox is our marketing guy, and I'm the producer. So pretty much, that's how we all distribute everything.
That's what you need nowadays, and I commend you guys for each, collectively, like coming together for the Lethal Geeks podcast, right? And pushing it out there. Like where I struggle, I suck at social media promotion. So TikTok, Instagram, like creating all that reels and stuff. I wish I had more hours in the day. I just can't do it. But I've gotten to a point where my audience knows that if my schedule becomes too busy, it's cool. I'll put it out when we get a chance. You know what I mean? Because I have a Patreon as well. I just started a membership over on YouTube. So like all of these obligations to like, oh, by the way, I didn't even. I'll show you guys when we talk about Man of Steel. I got a couple little pickups here.
But let me stop here for a second. I'm so glad all of this stuff that you're saying now, Flix, because. Oh my God! I wish we'd have had this conversation a
long time ago, man. he had the perfect balance. This is exactly the guy.
This is the guy. This is the guy. But before we continue, we got a super chat here. So, JT,
that's my buddy right there.
There's your buddy there. $5 Australian, I guess.
Yeah, he's from South Australia.
Wow.
South Australia.
Okay.
Right,
Good morning. Good morning, Lethal Geeks and our movie, in our Flix Talk family, main man David. Nice,
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the super chat, man.
We get let's give him a drop. Let's see what we got here. Let's give.
You guys had a really good intro, by the way. All the video clips, I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's do.
Give them something from the main highlight, the movie that we're here to discuss, dude. Give them something.
All right, we'll get copyright on it anyway, so whatever. That's fine.
Put cards on the table here, General. You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't, and you never will. But that doesn't mean I'm your enemy.
Then who is? Zod?
That's what I'm worried about.
Be that as it may, I've been given orders to hand you over to him.
Do what you have to do, General.
Nice.
Appreciate that.
So before we go into it, Flix, I want to know,
Yeah.
was there a specific cinematic experience that you had that inspired you to do what you're doing today? Was there that one movie that maybe you saw when you were a kid, maybe when you were a teenager, that really stuck with you even till now, till this moment, and it was the reason why you said to yourself, hey, you know what, I want to talk about this stuff to strangers all around the world. I wanted to make a YouTube channel. Do you have that one film that inspired all that?
I will say, yeah, it's not really maybe the most mind-blowing answer, but I do remember being in theaters when they were showing the trailer for, and I was just an average moviegoer at this point because this was in early 2000s, and I remember seeing the trailer for the fourth film from Quentin Tarantino, Kill Bill, and there's something about that trailer that just blew me away. I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. Anybody that knows me on the channel knows I'm a Tarantino fanboy. So I will defend his movies, whether you guys think they're. If you want to have a debate about that, we can debate that to the grave. I will go in on those movies. But that was the one where I took cinema a little more serious because I felt like there was a lot of different layers to that movie. It's wackiness. It's very artistic. There's so much cinematography. The soundtrack was probably the best thing I've ever heard in my life at that point. And it made me want to watch more movies. I remember that as someone that just watched movies coming out.
Was that the first movie you saw from Kill Bill? The trailer?
That was the first movie I'd ever seen from Quentin Tarantino in theaters.
That was the first one. Okay.
Yes,
because in theaters. Okay, just to clarify.
In theaters, because when that came out, that was 2003. I want to say I was barely graduating high school. So I wasn't really.
Okay, so you're about my age.
He's closer to my age, I think. You're
38. I just turned 40 in March.
Okay. Yeah.
So when I graduated, I mean, I wasn't really watching. I mean, you go with your friends, every so often to the movies on the weekend and whatnot. But I wasn't taking cinema seriously. It was just like a hangout. You wouldn't absorb it like you did. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, like this is really sucking me in. So then after that, when I would start to just kind of rent movies on my own, and then eventually move out to my own place to start really diving deep into movies when you have a free moment, then you start seeing, oh crap. And back then we didn't have no damn smartphones. Like I didn't have a smartphone. So I was hooked on the movie. I didn't have any distractions. I mean, anybody that has a significant other, they know that they're on the phone while you're watching the movie, and you're like, "Babe, babe, you watching this scene right here? Huh? What's happening?" Like they don't know what's happening. They don't know what's going on. So you got to watch the movie. You got to pause it 3 or 4 times. So that's kind of like when I started really, really getting into movies. But I can remember that moment right there. Kill Bill got me into cinema. Like I said before, all the movies previous were just kind of glimpses here and there growing up as a kid. But I was just kind of that movie guy too, as far as like at any of my jobs, I was always talking about, hey, did you guys see this? Or did you guys hear about this trivia? Did you guys hear about this news coming out? And they were like, I was like the guy, hey, David, do you know about this new movie coming out this weekend? Like, you got a good review on it or whatever? Oh yeah, let me tell you about it, blah, 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 without spoilers. And I would do all that stuff. So I was known as the movie guy around, not town, but like around my job.
You're still known as the movie guy. You're still the movie guy.
I took it and I ran with it, man. And still to this day, I still start telling coworkers about shows or movies that I really, really enjoy and stuff like that. And then that's when I was like, someone was like, you need to do like a podcast, or you need to do like something where you're recording your reviews so I can go back, so I can watch them, so I can check them out when you're not around. And I'm like, I was like, I really was camera shy. I did not want to jump in front of any camera. So it did start out audio first, and then it just kind of morphed into what it is now, to be honest. And once more people started, wanting to collab with me and whatnot, and we just started picking each other's brains, I got really comfortable. And then it became kind of what it is. And like I said, I do 3 shows a week by myself, just a couple of hours. And It's hard, man. I know it's hard to like if one of you guys was talking by yourself for 2 or 3 hours, it'd be tough. You know what I mean? Just anybody.
That's it. That's exactly why we do the show the way we do, because I've talked to these guys about it before. It's like, if I got to do a show by myself, I'd get bored. I'm like, who am I talking to? The fact that we can all bounce off each other, have a real conversation, that's what makes this what it is, and why we love doing it, you know? So, yeah, man. But I just want to say, dude, like, I actually love the format of your YouTube channel. I love the format of your reviews. Because I'll be honest with you, after I saw that Man of Steel video, which was the first video, that was my introduction to you and to your YouTube channel, man. I started going through them and started watching as many as I could. And your format, the way you articulate, the way you're not afraid to show your emotion, which we're going to discuss as we get into Man of Steel, dude. I commend you for that. I think it is amazing. And what I love about it is that it does not feel artificial. When I see the reaction, that is a real, genuine reaction. And I think that is why it struck so many chords with that Man of Steel video, because what you gave us was real and genuine. So thank you, sir.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And it's hard. I will say it is hard. One, because we're always told boys don't cry, right? Two, it's just I think. Well, I'm gonna blame it on me being a Pisces. I don't know if you guys follow any signs, but Pisces are very emotional characters. Yeah. You a Pisces too up there?
No, I'm a Leo, but I know
close.
I have an ex who was a Pisces, so I know.
We're emotional. We're emotional creatures, and I will say this. I let out a lot of my movie, movies are my therapy. I'll just say that. Some people go to a therapist. Some people talk to somebody. Movies are my therapy. So sometimes we'll be in a chat and someone will request a song or something like that, or we'll play we'll listen to something or talk about something, and it'll just spark a damn memory for me. You know what I mean? Boys don't cry, but men can. There you go. There you go, Mama Bear. So that's what it is with me. And yeah, I've tried to hide a lot of things, but if it just comes out and you know, I'm wearing my headphones and it's blaring. So if the score's hitting, if the dialogue's hitting and I feel it, I'm just going to let it out. I'm not going to, there's no way I can hold it in. I mean, you're going to be biting your lip and stuff. You can't hide it, right? It's hard to. So, and I think that's okay. I really do think that's okay, man. Yeah, you got to wear the glasses. I think that's okay though, because once again, especially as men, we're told to hold in our emotions or hide our emotions. And I don't think that's real and genuine, especially when you're looking for a channel like ours or reactionary channels and stuff like that. I think you got to be real and honest with and how it made you feel. And I remember at the end of my Man of Steel reaction, I said,
hang on, I don't mean to cut y'all, but you mentioned something very important. Y'all may not realize this, but there's a reason why we die earlier than women. That shit causes cancer. You dig? If you don't let out some sort of emotion, if you don't let that valve loose, okay, for whoever told you that we're not emotional creatures, no, we were taught not to be emotional creatures. It's not that we're not emotional creatures. So don't confuse the two. It's because we were taught not to be. We got emotions just like women do. Don't get it twisted. Okay. So that shit causes cancer. Okay. It causes health problems. So that is primarily the reason why we die earlier. Somebody 1,000%. Go out there and prove me wrong.
1,000%. Comedian Bill Burr has a good bit about why men die early, and it's exactly the same. It's because women are constantly nagging about this. I don't want to go off on. I don't want to upset half your audience. But, no, but check it out if you guys can. Check it out
exactly
if you guys can.
You're referring to.
They nagging for a reason.
Thank you.
Got to know how to tune it in and listen. That's all.
Exactly. No, there's a lot of things that we're told that we're supposed to act like or be like and stuff like that. And that's one thing about the cinephile community is they're very, if they know you and they like you and they're following you on this journey, they will accept everything you throw at them. If someone's just there for one video, which I've gotten, trust me. Oh, I subscribed to your channel for this video. Now you're doing other things. I'm unsubscribing. Okay, goodbye. Guess what? I lose 1 subscriber. I gain 4 more in the next hour. It's not a big deal to me. But people love to let their presence be known about leaving that comment, right? I'm unsubscribing. It's ridiculous, man. And,
oh, okay.
Yeah, you're unsubscribing because I'm being my genuine self. And obviously it's trial and error when you're creating a channel or when you're working through a channel. Is what videos are going to work for your channel, your audience, and which ones aren't. I mean, I'm still constantly going through that struggle because I do a lot of news clips as well. I clip a lot of my what I talk about on my live streams and stuff like that. Which ones work, which ones don't, which ones may be controversial. And then I kind of just, which ones are best for the channel. Obviously, I don't want to lose subscribers, but I want to be my authentic self too. So, it is a whole trial and error. And like you guys said, I mean, it's a constant like cancel culture that we're living in like no other nowadays. I mean, you could see it with cinema 20 years ago is not the same as it is now, especially when it comes to things like comedy or, you know what I mean? So it's a different world we're living in right now.
Like I remember when we would go to the theater and watch a comedy, we were all laughing together.
We weren't critically analyzing it to find what gets you offended.
Now you have to be politically correct, and that's the part that just sucks the fun out of going to the theater.
Or people are afraid to laugh. They don't know if they're supposed to laugh at this joke.
They're allowed to laugh. Yep.
Actually, that happened. Let me show you this experience. This just happened to me. When did The Naked Gun come out? Like a month ago? 2 months ago?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay, so Flix, I went to see The Naked Gun because I saw the original the original ones with Les Nielsen, and they're the best. They're the best.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw my theater wasn't packed. My theater room was maybe half the audience. I don't know, but whatever. Bottom line is, I was sitting next to a girl. She must have been in her 20, 21 years old, Gen Zer, basically.
Mm-hmm.
She did not laugh one single time. Not once. And I'm like, about right. You can laugh. Like, you don't have this is funny. But they don't know. Also, I also went to see the Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because they also did a rerun of they've been doing a lot of reruns lately on classic like Jaws, Batman, etc.
Yeah.
And I got lucky to be able to see Batman 89 for the first time in theaters. And I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles also. I was able to catch that in theaters. But this time I went with my niece and nephew, also Gen Zers. And remember that scene with Casey Jones and April O'Neil and the Toots scene? Remember that Toots scene?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they were like, what the hell? Why is he talking to her like that? So it's like, it's dated, basically. They don't get it. Listen, this is how we used to talk back in the day. I'm not justifying it. It's just that this is how things were on a certain period in history. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sometimes I feel like younger generations just they forget to do that switch, because also when I go and watch a classic 80s or 70s movies, I got to also think, oh shit, this is how I got to switch back.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. And on a side note, if you guys want to have a good time and laugh at someone that doesn't get it, watch Gen Zers react to Mel Brooks' Blazing Saddles. You will lose your fucking mind, because the fact that they don't know how humor was back in the 70s or 80s, it is so funny when they get offended by hearing certain words. You should know that going into it, but if you don't, and you know that now this is what the movie's about, don't get offended. Just know that you're in for a wild ride at this point. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
we sit and talk. Me and my wife sit and talk about that all the time, man. One of our sitcoms we watch is called Rules of Engagement, and it's got David Spade in it, and it's funny as hell, and they are so politically inappropriate. I mean, it's nuts. It's funny. They don't make them like that anymore. They don't make that stuff anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, I always go on a rant too. I tell my my community, I go, speaking of Mel Brooks, they're gonna make Spaceballs 2. Everyone's so excited.
Yes.
Hold on, everybody's so excited. I'm not excited for it, because I know that humor is not gonna be the same as it was. I mean, it wasn't raunchy in the original. I get it, but you're not gonna tell me they're gonna tone it down for the 2025 audience. They're gonna tone it down, bro.
The whole and I can think of stuff.
Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Listen,
that's how the world is.
Crossed for the best. That's all.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Crossed for the best.
I'm just gonna let's say this. They will PG. I think they'll edge it like a PG-13, roughly to the edge.
Yeah,
just rough it, but don't go too PG. No, don't do that. You have to.
Yeah,
like this is the thing that we're missing in society. Humor, laughter, satire, just laugh ourselves, enjoy. It's okay to make fun. These guys make fun of me all the fucking time. I'm easy to get mocked.
Actually, we do, and I mock Rocks all the time. Just
you're just mocking me before we started the show.
Exactly. So,
and I was mocking you, Charles, also.
And that's the whole point of a joke, is that it's a joke. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't want to. We don't want to come at each other's throats or anything like that. Like, we know it's all in harmless fun and stuff like that. And that's where this generation or just, I don't know if it's just this generation or just people in general that I don't know what it is, man, but they're just not riding with a lot of this comedy that we grew up on. And they're like, because it was done back then, doesn't mean it's right. It's like, also, this is the context of a movie. We're talking about movies here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Escapism. Yeah.
It is escapism. That's why I don't really watch a lot of newer programming or like series or anything like that. Is because they insert too much realism in there. It's like I try to escape, man. Sometimes
it's hard to find one where you're reminded of the ones. It's rare. It's one or two, but it's not a lot.
There's one show that I just started to watch because I'm with you, Flix. Like, there's a lot. It's hard to find something good. I started watching The Studio.
So do we.
I've heard
already saw it. Already finished it.
Good things.
Already saw it. Brilliant.
Dude, I just finished episode 2.
Brilliant.
And I was like,
okay.
You talk about on the nose when it comes to Hollywood.
It was.
I'm glad. That TV show.
What I love is it's just one shot. It's all just one take. Done.
Yeah, they do it, and they're just the way they shoot it cinematically. Yeah, it's because it's that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to give you that feeling of these executives and these producers and all of that. They're always in a rush, and they're always, trying to close some deal, and they're always So that was the point.
Real quick, guys. You saw it? Okay, go for it.
Give me a second. Let me just finish this thought. Then we'll answer this, and then we'll move to our next topic. One thing that God damn it, I lost it. Jesus Christ. What happened to me? When
that's what happens, man. You get older. That's what happens.
Rocks.
God, I wanted to respond to the super chat.
Dude, but I see the same thing you see, dude.
How many times do you say, "Rock, stay on top of the chat"?
Okay, fine.
I think I stay on top of the chat.
You'll remember it, buddy. Don't worry. It'll come back, maybe.
All right. Well, while he's trying to remember, okay.
All right, fine. Let me reply
here. Yep. From AT's
quick thoughts.
BS reviews.
Keenan Thompson acquiring the rights to Sleepaway Camp for a remake. I had no idea he was doing
I just saw this. Yeah, I just saw this.
I had no idea.
Keenan Thompson?
From SNL. Yeah, it's weird. I didn't even talk about it yet. I have mixed thoughts about this one.
I do too, especially about we'll talk about it, but has anybody seen the Anaconda trailer?
I have. I hate it.
We'll mix that in there.
Well, I hate that. All right, let's give him a drop. Let's give him you know what? I haven't used no.
Today, Junior.
And your son took that from me. Stole that from me. Killed that from me. People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, I'm thinking I'm back. So you can either hand over your son, or you can die screaming alongside him!
Nice.
I remember the first time I saw that shit, I was just like, man.
Yep. I just rewatched Ballerina too the other day.
What did you think of that one?
It's okay. It's good. I like that it's a separate story. I mean, the story itself is very cookie cutter, which I don't mind. I mean, you get a typical revenge movies. I think especially watching the behind the scenes with Ana de Armas, I think she kicked ass in that movie. I think she did a pretty good job for. I mean, what does she weigh? 110 pounds. You know, so it's like you got to use everything else to your advantage, throwing pots at people, stabbing them, and I like that shit. You know, so I like the way it went overall, but. It was an okay addition. I know it didn't make as much money as they wanted to, but
yeah, people were complaining about the whole. I've always wanted somebody's take on that. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it. I really do because I like her. So I like pretty much everything she's ever been in. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of her other stuff, but I like her as an actress. So, but I want to see it. But I'm getting the same complaints. Everybody's with the girl boss stuff. I don't understand. The point is, in the movie, she is supposed to be the girl boss. She's the main protagonist generally in this film, correct? Am I wrong about that?
No.
And I mean they touch on something that was in the John Wick world which was Rumi Roska I can't pronounce that, the Rumi Roska or something, which is basically the ballerinas. They were all basically female assassins, right? So it does tie into the story. So I think if you're a diehard of that or like the Continental, like you're gonna like the movie. You will like it, but do the sequences hit as hard as like even the later John Wicks, like 3 and 4? No, it doesn't. But they're okay. I mean, there's one scene at the end with a flamethrower that just absolutely blew me away. Like literally, like I don't know how the fuck they did this because it didn't look like CGI. It looked like real flamethrowers. And that when you're messing around with fire on set, like you got to be very careful. So I give it, watch it for that scene alone if you can.
All right, yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah.
All right. Before we move on to the next one, now I remember I had to go back to the channel to the episode.
Go ahead and get to it before you forget again. Let's go.
I got this down. So we were talking about the studio. And the way the show was shot, and you loved it. So I wanted to ask you about have you seen Birdman?
Me?
Yes.
No, I have not. I have not. But I know it's the same style though, as far as the one take winner.
Yes. That movie.
That's the one with Michael Keaton, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That. So when I started watching the studio, that automatically boom took me to Birdman because I was like, oh shit, this is that type of style with the music and all the groove, the way the movie, the pace, the takes. I'm like, okay.
Now let me ask you.
This is what I like.
Now let me ask you. So you do like movies like that because there's only a few movies that have done that. Like I saw 1917 did that. I mean, I know the studio is a series, so you can digest it in 30-minute episodes, right? But as a full movie, can you enjoy something like that? If like more studios start doing things like that?
Depending on the story, obviously, but if it's I think it's depending on the story because Birdman, I saw it twice, but if it's not a movie that I would watch like 10 times, 20 times, whatever. So depending on
I've never seen a movie like that
because
even
there was
an older movie, but
there have been sequences like did you see on Netflix the Chris Hemsworth movie Extraction?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so in both movies there are sequences like that. They're just one shot, constant takes. So like I said, depending on the story, in fact, could I see an action scene like that going on?
Didn't they do an action scene like that with Daredevil, where it was all?
But no. We're talking about a full sequence, a full movie.
Oh, so the whole thing is
all 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be a cut scene. They can still be standing still doing dialogue, but that film is just rolling while they're there.
Right.
And then as soon as they start to move, you go and move with them. So wherever they are and wherever the action is happening, yes, you're just.
So then I'm with Phil on that. I think it really depends on the kind of film and what you're trying to shoot. Like a good example, I think, to attempt a movie like that. Have you ever seen Phone Booth with Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
So something
Love
where
that movie.
So a movie where where the camera's usually stationary in one position. You could shoot that entire movie when you really think about it right in front of a phone booth, right? In one sequence. Something like that I could see being done, being entertaining, and I could give that a go. So I'm with Phil on that. I think it really does depend on the story and what they're trying to
Okay.
All right, guys, let's move on to our next topic because we got a few more stuff stuck up. But please, if you guys jumping in, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, our guest of honor, Flix Talk, is here. Also, link is in the description to go like and share to subscribe to his channel as well, and go check out his content. All right, so we are going to pay our respects to the late great Robert Redford, who passed away recently. This guy was old, obviously old. Did I see all of his movies?
Yeah.
No, I did not see all of his movies, but I did see some movies that I shouldn't have seen at a certain age. But different times. And this guy was in one of them. I actually met this guy when I saw Indecent Proposal. Do you guys ever see that one?
I don't think I have, Phil.
No,
it was with
Charles?
Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore, where they
Moore.
were down and out. Basically, they go to Vegas to try and recoup some money they lost. They get the money, then lose it again. He happens to be there, rich billionaire dude, and he offers a proposal to the lovely couple. $1 million for one night with your wife. Go. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
I think the only movie I've actually seen of him would have been Captain America. He had a
as
Pierce.
What was his name? Was it Pierce?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was Nick Fury.
Alexander Pierce.
Yeah, no, I saw. Yeah, my favorite movies of his is 3 Days of the Condor. It's an older movie before you guys' time, but
I saw it.
CIA spy espionage stuff. So he was a reporter, and I'm not gonna give it away, but it was
All the President's Men,
Spy Game, and
that's my favorite. That's my favorite. That's my favorite spy movie.
The late great Tony Scott was the director. He is the brother of Ridley Scott. So I call him the action. He's the action thriller to Ridley Scott's more sci-fi and more
biography.
Like yeah, exactly. He did a lot of action thrillers. So yep.
Yeah. What about you, Flix? Have you seen any of Robert Redford's movies? What's your?
I haven't seen a single one. I'm being honest, but I know.
I'll refer you one. Spy Game. You got if you like. Do you like spy thrillers?
Oh yeah, I love them.
All right, Spy Game. This was with Brad Pitt, so you'll love this one.
Oh, nice. Okay, what is that like in the 90s, or is that like
Spy Game? 2001.
2001.
Oh, 2001. Okay.
2001. But the movie is it's about a protege, a master spy with his protege. Okay, so it's handled basically. So Robert Redford recruits Brad Pitt into the CIA to be his guy.
He teaches him the trade craft and all of that, and then
and they go through different gaps in years back in the 70s and the 80s and 90s. So it's like a period also piece also. You know what I mean? Okay. So it's like going back. So it's a very good movie. So if you get a chance to watch it, I highly recommend that movie.
Yep.
I did a poll recently since he passed away, and everybody was telling me 3 Days to the Condor, like you guys said, and then also Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And then I believe it was The Sting, is what people were saying.
Oh,
is that with him and Paul Newman? I believe.
Oh, The Sting!
Yeah. The Sting.
Fuck! I forgot about that one. I did see that one too with my dad. That's a classic. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised I haven't seen any movies with him. Did he do a Captain America movie?
He was. We were just talking about that. He was.
Alexander Pierce. Back up in Endgame. Remember when they did when they went back in time, and then Tony got the he was there. Yeah,
that's the. I'm sorry to say, that's the only time I've seen him in a movie. I got to go back and do my due diligence, to be honest. So rest in peace to him. He did some great movies. It looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Dude, there's so, and this is the thing nowadays, Flix. Like, unfortunately, we're in a point in pop culture now that performers, actors, actresses are not being that much high stakes value anymore today. Like the older guys, like let's say Tom Cruise, your Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitts, like those type of guys. You don't see actors of a younger age attracting too many people to the box office. I don't know if you're seeing that on today's movies.
Yeah, there's
not much drops.
Yeah, I mean, you everybody's talking about it. Like, how many Tom Cruises do we have? We have none. It's just Tom Cruise, right? I mean, and we're talking about, when we say that, we're not talking about A-listers. We're talking about people that can bring it with acting, doing a lot of their own stunts. Like when I'm watching a lot of these older movies, a lot of these guys are doing their own stunts, and girls too. Like they're all flying around, falling down mountains, driving cars themselves. They don't have
Especially
any,
like the 80s movies, like the Stallones, the Schwarzeneggers. They all did their own shit back in the day, you know. So
yeah, I mean, they did have stunt doubles, but that was for the extreme stunts, right? I feel like nowadays you have a stand-in for literally any scene that requires them to, fall down possibly or whatever. But yeah, and that to me that tells me that they're not just there for the check, but they feel a certain type of way that they should only do the bare minimum possibly of what the actors of yesteryear used to do.
They don't take art seriously like acting is art, guys. Acting, the theater, that's all artistic. There is nothing, that's what it is. Okay. Just like poetry or painting, or it is art, and they don't take that seriously anymore. It's just like, let me go do this. I'm gonna phone it in, and it's done. Yeah. No real effort behind it, no real work. I remember when anybody can write a script now. That's what I hate. Back then, you had to pound the pavement like you were looking for a job. It took effort. Your script had to be that good, because that's back when they took the craft seriously.
I remember listening to Stallone talk about how hard it was for him to get that first script for Rocky, to get a studio to greenlight that.
Yeah,
I remember listening to interviews of him talk about it. Like, it literally took him,
and they didn't want him to star,
and they didn't want him to do it, and he wouldn't compromise. He's like, no, like, this is my movie. I'm going to do it. This is how it's going to be done. And until he got what he got, he wasn't willing to compromise. But it just goes. They had to how much work he had to fight for. Exactly.
They had to fight for those spots, and you could see it. You eventually saw that in their work when you watched it. And it made you want to watch it again and again. Now it's just like, here's a script about a stupid superhero. Cool. They got jokes in it. Let's go ahead and throw that up there right quick.
I know what you're.
And they think it's an instant $1 billion hit. Hence, that's what we've been dealing with. So now that you mentioned that, Charles,
and produced, directed, and written by Twitter. I forgot about that part. So yeah.
So Robert Redford, rest in peace, my friend. And let's move on to our next topic, gentlemen. So, the pied de résistance, a critical. No, actually, this was your title, Rox. You came up.
I'll say it is a critical analysis between Man of Steel and Superman, and this is why it was so important that Phil do his homework and watch Superman, because I certainly wasn't going to watch it, and I know Charles wasn't. So,
damn right I wasn't.
I took one for the team.
You did. You definitely did.
But I take a lot for the team. If you know.
I can't do it especially after seeing Peacemaker, season 2. I'm sorry.
I give you all the credit for watching that episode, bro. I really do.
Can't do it, bro.
But let's shift back here, because I want to kick this conversation off, and I want to know, before we start this, what motivated you to watch and react to Man of Steel for the first time, especially knowing that the new Superman movie was out? I'm sure you're getting a lot of requests to react to that. But what was it that motivated you and made you want to do the reaction video for Man of Steel?
Oh, sure, no problem. Oh, I mean, I will not do a reaction to Superman 2025 because I already saw it in theaters, so it's not a true reaction. I know a lot of people do that, and they'll be like, "Oh, I watched it for the first time." What? If I were to ever do that, because people have told me, you should react to this, like react to RoboCop, and I'm like, y'all, I've seen it when I was like 15 or something like that, and they're like, yeah, but you can like rewatch it, and I'm like, I might think about it, but I would never call it a first time watching, right? You know what I mean? You can give it I still think if you haven't watched a movie in 15, 20 years, you can watch it now as an adult or whatever, and you can give it a different eye, as maybe back then you weren't really paying attention to certain movies, right? But that aside, what made me want to watch this one is, like I said, I saw the early screening, the Amazon Prime in theaters, IMAX, and I went into it, and I didn't know what to expect other than the early reviews of literally, it seemed like everybody that had their Superman, the new Superman logo on their chest, in their Twitter profile, everybody was saying that this movie was a 10 out of 10. They were going crazy for it. And I was like, okay, that was to be expected. I feel like these guys are shills anyways. They get paid to like keep the studios happy. I don't have no proof of that, but that's just what I'm saying. But I was going to go into it with kind of the bar set in the middle. Like I wanted to have a fun time. I knew it was James Gunn. I come from more of a, you guys are more DC. I'll be honest. The only DC movies I've really seen are the old Batman movies. Actually, most of the Batman movies. No, I think all the Batman movies. Yeah, I've seen all the Batman movies. Wonder Woman, and that's like it. Like I don't really dive deep into what I'm about to get into now currently, but so I thought that this would be cool for me to check out as like a fun movie. And like I said, I'm more of the Marvel verse, so I saw James Gunn. I'm like, cool. So when I went into it, right away, it felt too bubblegum poppy. Like I don't know what else. I'm not gonna call it comic booky because I couldn't compare it to any comic books, but it had a certain aesthetic that I knew would appease to a PG-13 audience, right? So I did come out having an entertaining time. I will say that I was entertained. I was entertained. There was a lot of points I would have left on the cutting room floor. They do make, and this was me just watching the first two Superman movies of Christopher Reeves. They make Superman so weak in this movie, Superman 2025.
Thank you. That's one of my first reaction was that.
He has no spine. Yeah, he has no spine. He's a pussy. I understand you. If you're trying to tap into that, you tap into that as an origin story. What?
I was just laughing. He said he's a pussy.
That's exactly why I cracked.
If you're gonna tap into that, like tap into it early on. Like he's already at the Daily Planet. He's already established. Like people know he's Superman. Why is he still acting the way he's acting? So I was a little confused with the direction they went. Like I said, some of the battles were cool. Yeah, you're gonna get your James Gunn laughs, like with what's it, the Green Lantern Squad or whatever. I don't know what they were called. I forgot.
Justice Gang.
Justice Gang.
Yes, Justice Gang. Which I didn't really even care for myself. I think Mr. Terrific was kind of entertaining, but I don't know about anything about these characters too much to even remember them. So I came out. I gave it a pretty high score. Actually, I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 for the entertainment value alone. And that was not knowing anything about Man of Steel. That was not knowing anything about Batman v Superman or Justice League, okay? I just knew that, I'll be honest, the reason why I shied away from DC projects back in the day when I was deep into Marvel movies, we're talking about like before Endgame and before Infinity War, I don't know if I saw a clip or one movie from the DC verse where the CGI just wasn't there. It just wasn't there for me. It was very noticeable, and I was comparing.
Was this like recent? Like recent?
No. Back then. This is back then. This is like I don't know, maybe
was this
first Aquaman or something.
Okay.
Like around that time, I saw clips from a DC movie. I don't know which one it was, but I just remember comparing the two.
He could very well be talking about shit from the Hamadaverse, though.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why. Yeah.
He could be talking about the Hamadaverse, bro. I'm just saying.
Birds of Prey, maybe. Birds of Prey.
I did see that. I did see that in theaters. I hated that one. But that's back then when I was watching everything, and I didn't have any bias or anything like that. But
I remember the Flash got hit hard for the CGI. The CGI.
I remember just seeing the CGI, and I remember seeing the CGI from Marvel that I grew up, and I was probably biased. I was probably like, Marvel shitting on whatever CGI studio is working with DC, whatever. So because of that, I just put them to the side. I'm going to be honest with that. That's what I did. So everyone in the comment section of Superman was, I did mention I know you haven't got here, Castillo, yet, because you said you didn't finish the movie, right? Superman 2025?
I mean, I know how it ends. I haven't finished the whole thing, but you can spoil it already. Go ahead. That's fine.
Well, I was just going to mention that there is like this, a political aspect to it throughout the whole movie, and they do touch on it at the end, which I did mention that I was like, okay, which we talked about. I said, I go there to escape at the movie theater and yada yada. If you're going to insert this in here at this time that we're living in on Earth, people are going to take this as what it is. You can't expect people to differentiate. It's too on the nose, right? And people were like, no, he wrote this before what happened October 7th. I go, no, he didn't. This literally happened. Dude, he didn't write the script that far from when this war was happening, or it's still happening. So I knew what he was trying to do. That's how I took it as anyways. And I said it sucked me out a little bit because it felt a little bit too preachy. And when I'm going into a comic book movie, I'm trying to escape that.
Yes.
People did not like that I said that. And that was my only gripe. So when they started leaving those comments, then the James Gunn or the Snyder haters came in after that, and we're comparing both of them. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Then I started seeing people on the Snyder side coming saying, you need to check out Man of Steel. You need to check out Man of Steel 2013. Go for it, yada, yada. So I was really marinated on it for a while. And I'm like, I don't really do new movies because they Warner Brothers is going to block me. By the way, all the views that are up right now on that YouTube video, I'm making $0 because Warner Brothers copyright claimed me. So if you guys can, after this stream, go give it a like, go leave a comment to help the algorithm because I'm making $0 off that. Now, that being said, I'm just doing it for the love. I don't care about any of the other stuff. But that's what wanted me to go check it out, right? Is just that the outpour of people saying that one's better than the other. So I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. I do love Henry Cavill, and that's all I knew about it, is that Henry Cavill was in it. Then the opening credits started happening, and then I think I saw. I don't think it actually did. It didn't say it in the beginning, but I knew right away that it was a Hans Zimmer score.
Yeah.
So like,
you can just tell.
You feel it. So I'm like, all right, okay, we're getting thrown into.
I think you even said it in your review. I think you even mentioned that too at the very beginning of your review. You did.
Yeah, I was like, who did the score? Hans Zimmer.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Let me ask you this: have you seen him live?
No, I haven't.
Dude, you need to watch him live. I saw him live last year for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, he played everything: Man of Steel, The Lion King, Inception,
Dark Knight,
Gladiator, Dark Knight 2. So, dude, he played. He
scored some great movies.
Stuff. He's done some great shit. Oh, and Pirates of the Caribbean too.
Yeah, he's
and Wonder Woman.
He's number one to me, man. He's bad. Inception is like one of my. Oh, I love that score, dude. I love the movie. That's one of my favorite Chris Nolan movies, dude. But
yeah. And speaking of, and then I saw Chris Nolan was attached, and I'm like, what the? How did I never hear about this, man? Like, I was really.
You guys heard it. He said he did not know that. I got Flix. I'm sorry. I gotta leave.
Wait till I see the credits at the end of that reaction. I'm like. Because I always stick around to see who's in it, like like who's a part of it.
The short story about that. So basically, in a nutshell, when Christopher Nolan was trying to come up with the story with the main beats for Dark Knight Rises, the last one, him and Goyer got stuck. They got brain. They were like, so why don't you take some time? He told him to take some time. Goyer, who was the writer, by the way, of Man of Steel, he said, take some time. Go ahead and try to figure out, the last one in the trilogy for the Dark Knight. So he still couldn't crack it. And then he started reading comics, and he came up with he said he read Man of Steel. He was reading a whole bunch of other Superman comics. And he was like, huh. And then he wrote a 3-page outline for Man of Steel. And then he said Chris called him and was like, so what you got? And he was like, well, I don't have anything for Batman yet, but I got a 3-page outline for Man of Steel. And he was like, well, let's hear it. And then that's how. And then Chris read it, and he was like, do you want me to produce this? And Goyer was like, yeah. So they went to Warner Brothers and, went through like 5 or 6 or 7 directors to see who would fit, landed on Zack Snyder, and there you go.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah, and I mean, I have seen a lot of Zack Snyder films. Dawn of the Dead. I have a Dawn of the Dead, the original, but Dawn of the Dead, the remake, is like one of my favorite remakes of all time. 300, obviously. There's been a couple. I mean, there's been a lot that I haven't seen either, but I just knew that this was a guy that had a very good eye for cinema, and a very particular style. Mm-hmm. So I knew, watching Man of Steel and even rewatching it again last night, that first sequence on Krypton, the way it was laid out, like the world building, like I felt Avatar vibes. Like I was like, what's going on? This was not introduced in the Christopher Reeves version, I'll tell you that. And I love how they expanded on that world, because I don't know anything about the comics. I don't know anything about the cartoons or anything.
Attention to detail that Zack Snyder put in that movie, him and his team, to make that, even come up with the Kryptonian language and the glyphs and actually putting meaning behind them. all of that lore, bro. He came up with all of that, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew right there at the end of that sequence, I was like, you know, when they shoot Superman off in the pod, I was like, I can already tell that I'm going to have a more fun, like a more impactful, meaningful time. And I'm going to want to rewatch this movie, add it to my collection more than I want. I didn't even buy the new Superman movie. I'm not going to add it to my collection.
Let me stop you there.
It is what it is.
And don't waste your money on that. Don't worry. Don't even waste your money. Now, let me stop you there. Your reaction, like you just said, Krypton, the world building, the pod, all that. That's at least a 30-minute sequence from the introduction of Man of Steel. Compared that I had no idea this happened because I just saw it and it only took less than a minute. Just intros like Superman 3 centuries ago, this 3 decades ago, that 3 weeks ago, this 3 hours ago, this, and boom, Superman falls into the snow, and I'm like, what? It's like you don't want to tell a story in detail, like you just want to rush it. That's what they were trying to do.
It sounds like telling and not showing. You know what I mean? They always say show don't tell, which is what I love about Zack Snyder's movies, especially Man of Steel. Especially if you continue that journey and you get to see BVS the extended cut or Zack Snyder's Justice League. Zack's theme is heavy on show don't tell. And there was so much criticism that he gets for that. And then you contrast it with what we got with this Superman, and now the complaints have flipped. People are saying, well, why is it like this? As Costello just mentioned, why is it that I have to read all this exposition to understand? Why aren't you showing me that? You know what you get what I'm saying? But one of the things I absolutely love about what Zack did with that whole Krypton sequence is you really do feel like the whole movie could have been set there. They could do a whole movie with Russell Crowe and his wife in that movie, and they could do a whole thing on Krypton, an entire prequel, because that's how much more
all the way up to the part where all the way up to its destruction, all the way up to when they find out and then they start the coup and all of that. You can literally do a whole movie just on that part. Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I agree, because there's a lot of things that I missed rewatching it last time, because when you're doing a reaction for the first time, you're trying to look for those open pockets to give some, commentary and stuff like that.
Easter eggs also, and
because I don't want to talk too much over it. I want to let it absorb it, and then give, when people are, the dialogue's cut out or whatever, then I want to. So then I started noticing the little things here and there. But one thing I really wanted to learn more about was, and I don't even know if there's a name for him, but Zod's crew. The people that were around him, I think her name was Zora, or the woman's name, Fiora. And then also there's that really tall, big guy. Like there was a couple of them around. I
think that was his name. Nemec, the big guy.
I would like you said, Charles. I would love to see a whole damn movie, like a prequel, based on how they rose to power, or how they got, this dictator of like a Zod. Because obviously he had to come into power somehow, or change his way of thinking. I mean, to become this leader the way he is, right? But that is like a movie in itself, and that's what you want to do. You want to leave these movies thinking, I want to see more of this character, this character, this.
Now
character.
I'm gonna share an Easter egg with you that a lot of people who are DC fans will know this. I know you won't, but I'm gonna ask you to, because it doesn't matter if you know it or not. I just want see if you get it. When you saw Man of Steel and you saw Clark in the spaceship in the Fortress of Solitude, when he's going in and he sees the pods and he sees like dead bodies in the pods, and there's one pod open.
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing that?
Yeah, I don't know who that was though.
There is a reason for that, because there is a prequel comic that came out before. Was it before the movie came out, guys? Or after?
I don't remember. I think it was probably before. I think they did it.
Okay, so they did a prequel comic about that story. That it was about Supergirl. It was about Kara Zor-El. So the theory is that in that pod, that ship where she arrived, like again, we don't know this. This is just us fans theorizing that was the ship where Supergirl arrived, and that Supergirl has been on Earth, but we just don't know that yet. Because remember, Supergirl. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that you're not a comic guy, but Superman arrived as a baby, but Supergirl arrived already a teenager,
Mhm.
but Superman had already grown up and was already a man. So
Yeah.
it kind of made sense to us,
That-
like, okay, if Supergirl is already here, then maybe she's also like Clark, adrift around the world, because yeah, he was not Superman.
Yeah.
He was just a regular guy saving people at random.
One of the things generally that people tend to miss, especially the ones that follow comic books, and no knocking on people that love the comics, but that's one of the things in the details that y'all miss, is that he was not Superman. There was a point to why the film was shot the way it was shot, and why the story evolved the way it did. There was a point to all of that,
And why it was titled what it was titled.
and why it was titled Man of Steel. Exactly. See,
And
people
now
were
that-
looking for Christopher Reeves again. Christopher Reeves was already established. Christopher Reeves was already at the Daily Planet. Christopher Reeves had already, they basically put those major chunks in the 78 film. So this film was even before that. You know what I mean? This film was, what was he doing in between time? What was he doing before he got to the Daily Planet? Right?
Yeah.
What was he doing before he put on the uniform? That was this movie. That was what Man of Steel was about. It wasn't about a Superman that came to Earth. Kent found him. He started showing off all his powers. Then he gets a job at the Daily Planet. Then he's wearing a cape, and then that's it. It wasn't that, and a lot of people were expecting that. So it was almost like an origin story of an origin story. That's what Man of Steel felt like to me. So yeah.
And I appreciated the flashbacks too, because you did see some glimpses of him, obviously growing up, at certain stages of his life, having to deal with these powers, and just him in the classroom, and you guys probably know what this is, when he was, seeing everybody's, skeletal structure, and just all the senses were just overhyped.
His X-ray vision was coming in. That's
okay.
Yeah.
I love that they made it
That's
part
cool.
of his maturity. When he was growing up, they added that in there as he was becoming a man, and as he was maturing, his powers came in that way, as opposed to him just developing them all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Yeah.
One of the scenes that I found hits me the hardest, and I realized that when I was watching your reaction, it seemed to have hit you the hardest as well. Is the conversation between Clark and Jonathan, where Clark is learning that he's from another planet, and he drops that line where he says, "Can I just pretend to keep being your son?" Every single, and I've probably seen that movie 15, 20 times at least now, but every time I watch that movie, bro, that line brings tears to my eyes. And to see you have that exact same emotional reaction, it reaffirmed everything I believe about this movie and why it is so dear to our hearts. That scene there, because I know what it is for me, but what was it for you? What were you able to relate to that made you react the way you did when you saw that for the first time?
No, I talked about it a little bit. I come from a family of divorce and stuff like that. And my dad wasn't the nicest guy, so I got daddy issues myself. So I think it was just that kind of tapped in. But it was also on the flip of the coin. The young Clark is very unsure of himself, where he's very just confused at what's happening, and he doesn't want all this power, this responsibility, right? Can I just turn it off? Can I just be your son? And he assures him that you are my son, even though you have a different dad. You have different parents. You are still our child. And I just liked that everything combined, and with the score and everything came together perfectly. And that's what I felt like. Once again, as the movie progressed, I was like, this is nothing like what I just watched in theaters a week ago. Like, this has no heart whatsoever. And going back to the Supergirl, I know you haven't got to that part, because still at the end, where they introduce Supergirl, I don't know if you've seen the clip. She comes in and she comes in and she's like, "Where's my dog, bitch? Bitch." She keeps calling Superman bitch. I'm like, what the fuck? This is how you're going to introduce a Supergirl? I know she doesn't act like this, but... okay, I guess the modern audience want it.
And in the comic that they are taking the movie from, she does act like that at the beginning. But I mean,
I'm completely wrong. Then, yeah,
the purpose of the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow movie, it's moment of growth for Supergirl. I haven't read the whole comic book. I know glimpse of it. So it's basically it's a story where it's a becoming of her. You know what I mean? So she's in that like maturity phase. So it's just the way that they told that story, being a drunk and partying and whatever. Like again, like we're different generation, different types of how to get the point across and how experiences go. So.
But instead of taking things more seriously for serious subject nature, I felt like Gunn's going the route of just being his gunny self, where this is what he's known for. He's going to continue to run with it because he's expected to. Even though he has this new position at DC, he is expected to do this shit. And he's going to, I mean, I know he comes from trauma. I understand his crazy background. He was canceled, you know, at one time from Disney and yada, yada. Okay, I get it. You're very... I don't think this is what a lot of the fans want. I mean, maybe some newer generations want to see this
That's
side
exactly
of
who this film is for, from what I understand. Yeah. I don't need to see this film to know that it is, this generation is not looking to aspire to something that is different than them. They are looking for something that is adjacent to them. Ooh, this Superman has all of my problems too. Well, that really isn't Superman. Superman is not like us. That's the whole point. And that's why I like Man of Steel. Is Man of Steel was a film about responsibility. That was Jonathan Kent's film. That was Jonathan Kent through and through. That was the point of the film. It was about teaching him responsibility and teaching him, no, you are not like us. But then again, you have a choice to be whatever you want to be. You want to be a god and rule over everybody and cause total destruction? Or do you want to use that stuff to help people out? That's your choice. I can't make that choice for you. He was basically saying, yeah, at some point, you will have to pull your big boy pants up and say, what do I want to be? And that's what I loved about this film. And that's what this generation hates. They want to be coddled. They want to be, you know what I mean? They want that
spoon-fed.
Yeah, they want to be spoon-fed everything, and they want the just blurt out emotions and all stuff. That's not Superman. Mm-hmm. It's just not him.
And speaking of Jonathan Kent, the other section of your reaction video, Flix, that I think resonates with our fandom so much is the Jonathan Kent death scene. Because you seem to understand the meaning behind that. You got it on your first watch. And for some reason, DC fans seem to be very split on that. A lot of people say it's not in Superman's character to allow his dad to make the sacrifice that he did. Everybody likes to criticize every little aspect of that particular scene, but you got it in your first watch. And that's, again, another reason why I thought it was so important to have you here. Because what did you say when you saw that? You said...
No. Yeah, I knew that because he wanted it to be kept a secret. He even said it earlier in the movie. He goes, you know what? When the pod crashed to Earth, we expected FBI agents to come, and they never came. Mm-hmm. So they just continued life. Yet he still had his head on a swivel. Look, I would. I mean, wouldn't anybody, if you were harboring this alien from another planet, like you would expect someone at some point in their life, like I'm not talking about just Lois Lane, but like someone coming knocking on your door saying, we need to look at that pod or something, you know what I mean?
And they taking it away. Exactly. And he also said
he held on to that.
Yeah, he also said when Clark was a little bit older and they were right before the tornado scene, they were in the car and they were arguing. He was like, look, you're not my dad. He's like, okay, yeah, I'm not your dad. We're not your parents. But we've been making this up as we go along.
Yeah.
What parent in reality would not say those exact same lines?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, we've been making this up. What do you expect? We've been doing the best that we can with what we got.
Yeah.
That's it.
To take it a step further,
all I can tell you to do is how to be a man, the same way I would teach any other earthling child how to be a man, except now that you have these powers, I'm going to tell you like any other man, you still have a responsibility to be either a good man or a bad man, whether you have powers or not. That's the point. That was the point of the film.
And to take it a step further, Charles, what parent wouldn't make that same sacrifice for their child? that Jonathan made. And
Exactly.
that's the one thing that Flix understood as soon as he saw it. He said he's protecting his son. He made this sacrifice for his son. And that seems to just, for some reason, and I think it's intentional, it goes over a lot of the real DC fans' heads.
Exactly.
Why
Zack Snyder was going for the reality in real life of how people would really act. That's all. He was holding a mirror to how people react. Think about it. Flix talk, you going outside of your car one day and you getting ready to go handle your business somewhere, and you see some dude it doesn't have to be Superman, this much he's floating. He's just floating. And he just and takes off. What you think about that, sir?
I'd be questioning everything that everything.
Exactly. That's the point. That was exactly the point.
Yeah.
What
I want to say something. I know I said this to you backstage, Flix, but I want to say this in public. I want to apologize on behalf of the DC fans and the Snyder community. I want to extend an apology to you because I know you got hit hard just because your authentic reaction to an old movie. And unfortunately, you got, like I said, you got dragged into a culture war that's
been going on since Man of Steel, brother. That long, they have
the rabbit hole. The rabbit hole goes very fucking deep.
They've been dunking on Man of Steel for a minute, bro.
Twitter was brutal, bro. Someone shared me, and thank you for that, by the way. Someone shared a highlight reel. Someone did like my best moments, I guess, of the reaction, and they someone that got the original poster didn't even tag me on Twitter. Someone that follows me on YouTube tagged me, so I was like, okay, cool. And it was like a little 3-minute highlight reel of all the best scenes, and then that's where all the Snyder love came, and I was like, oh, this is dope.
I think that was South Cali guy. I'm going to give him a shout out because he's the one who usually in our friend circle clips those videos, and I'm almost positive it was South Cali guy that did that for you. So shout out to South Cali guy.
Yeah.
Shouts out to all the love. And then I started seeing people saying this guy is faking it. He's seen this before. He's faking the tears, and I'm like, what? Like, is this really like I said, guys? I just turned 40 this year. If I was 20 years old. If I was a youngster, I would let the comments get to me. Now, I don't care so much. Like, I don't really even respond to them because most of the time, some of my supporters will go up and they'll start handling the comments for me. Like, I don't even got to respond. And same with you guys. I mean, I'm sure if, they'll ride for you. Yeah, they will ride for you. So, but if I was any younger, I'm telling you, man, I'd be so reactionary. And that's how I know that people they're just saying shit to say shit, or their fandom goes deep. And like you said, Charles, for a movie since 2013, they're still going at it. That means that Man of Steel did something right.
Yes.
Did 100%. You? Okay. Before we wrap this topic and move on to the next one, I am going to finish watching Superman. I know already how it ends, but I will finish watching it. But overall, my reaction to it's cheap. It's so cheap. Like, I'm seeing Guy Gardner flying the way they're doing it. I'm like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's like, and you can tell, okay, not to shade on Phil's weight, but dude, come on. If you're going to be a superhero, look the part. He did not look the part. Even though, okay, you're not going to be fighting, so at least pull some weights at least, dude. Come on. Look the part at least.
Who is that? Which character are you talking about?
Guy Gardner. Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion.
They went for.
Is he supposed to be bigger?
They went for comic accuracy again with the way he was and all that. Yeah, James Gunn made a comic book film. They were looking for a comic book film. James Gunn made a comic book,
and they got a comic book film. We as comic book fans, but also mostly movie fans, what we ask for is we want those characters come to our world. How would they react and live in our world? How would we react if we saw a man flying, or if we saw a bat signal in the sky? If we saw the bat,
or we saw Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Man,
have you seen the other two movies, Batman v Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Well, now's the perfect time, fellas. I just ordered them both.
Yes.
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 I
bro,
just ordered them both.
Tell me that's the ultimate edition of BBS.
Oh yeah,
It is.
it's
It
the
is.
ultimate.
It
edition.
is.
Excellent.
Let me
Okay.
tell you something. Let me tell you something right
So I
now.
will be watching this tomorrow. I will be watching this tomorrow.
Get your tissues when you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's
Okay.
all I'm saying, bro.
I'm going to refer.
I'm excited.
I'm going to recommend you one more movie, and then we'll move on. Once you finish
Before we move
watching,
on, I have a couple more questions I want to ask him. Just a couple more.
okay, because we gotta.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I really got to.
All right, ask that question, and then let me ask this first. So, my question for you, sir, is this: once you finish watching BVS and ZSJL, Watchmen. If you haven't watched Watchmen, Watchmen, that is the movie that
I have seen
pretty
that one.
much
That's Zack
you
Snyder
have
too,
seen
right?
that.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I have seen that one. Yes.
Bro,
Now, once you see these last two movies, you're gonna watch
you're gonna be like,
Watchmen
I'll
again.
rewatch it. I'll rewatch
and
it.
then
yeah.
call me in the morning. Then you'll understand.
Okay.
You will understand because like Charles
You
told
will
you,
understand
first of all-
Zach better
you
than
will
you ever
understand.
have. Trust me. When you watch,
and you don't have to.
this-
And we're not trying to convert you to a Snyder fan or no. We're just
you'll just
you
understand.
said
why we
that you like his visual storytelling.
I do. Yes.
And the visual storytelling of these next two movies you're gonna watch, French Kiss,
Just kiss, bro.
and
Tell
that's why Nolan chose Snyder.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
he did Dawn of the Dead first, then did 300, and then he did Watchmen before Man of Steel. Watchmen was pretty much the resume on Nolan's front desk for to pick Zach to do the job. So
Okay.
once you see those movies, you will watch Watchmen again, and you will understand Zack Snyder as a.
I'm gonna
visual
rewatch it, man, because like I said, when I was watching movies back then, I wasn't watching them with a critical eye. I was just more, not even pay attention to half the movie, But now that I'm an adult, I can, absorb them a little more with more of a critical eye since I have a channel now and we can talk about it and stuff like that. So I will definitely do
these
that.
are cinematic comic books, bro. Especially Watchmen. So you remember how I said James Gunn made a comic book movie?
Yeah.
No, this is a
Not a
cinematic
fun-
experience with comic book elements, man. And it still looks like a comic book, but it's more serious, it's more dramatic, it has more punch, more weight. It's just better. When you see Watchmen, you will know why we love this man. Yeah.
I'm trying to find a page
You
here
got
from
it.
the. Remember the scene on Watchmen, because Snyder pretty much he grabbed page for
It's
page.
the whole book. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the whole book.
Yeah.
So when he did 300 and Watchmen, he pretty much page.
Like the book was a storyboard.
Yeah, even the color scheme. So you notice the color scheme in 300, the way they shot it and the way it looked cinematically with the lighting and all of that. That's because that's exactly how the comic book colors look.
Yeah.
And I mean almost exactly. It looked exactly like that.
300 was a comic too. I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Frank-
wow.
Frank
Yeah.
Miller. Frank Miller. Yeah.
Frank Miller, man. Yep.
Okay, so real quick, I gotta get a couple more questions off to you because I think they're really important. The first one is we were talking about the action scenes, like the Battle of Smallville, right? And I saw your reaction; that seemed
Love
to
that
blow
one.
you away. What made that feel different from what you saw when you watched Superman? What was it about those action scenes that stood out to you and made you give the reaction that you did compared to what you saw when you watched Superman 2025?
Oh, nice. So I will say this, that I could definitely tell they try to recreate that with Superman when he fights in Superman 2025 when he fights the engineer, and then also he's fighting someone else. He's fighting two people at once, though. I forget who. He might be fighting Ultraman. Thank you. I forgot the name. Yes, Ultraman at the same time. I felt like they were trying to recreate the Smallville scene. That one felt very video gamey, by the way. If you guys have seen that clip, it felt very video gamey. And there's that whole meme where he gets kicked in the balls and he's like, oof. I'm like, and then I saw Man of Steel and I'm like, you don't see anything like that in Man of Steel. But it was just like you felt every punch. When that tall character of Zod's boy gets punched right into the train, the gas line or whatever, and explodes. Like it just the way they filmed everything, like it felt like you were flying along there alongside Clark Kent or Superman, and Henry Cavill, like right there, like you're over his shoulder, like the cameraman's like right over his shoulder, like flying with them, and you're just getting these cinematic moments in Smallville, and literally in front of a damn Sears. You know what I mean? Shit's blowing up.
And IHOP.
Like,
don't forget the IHOP.
And the IHOP. Like I felt all the destruction going on, and that was another thing too, is that they came for me and they're like, the James Gunn fans, they're like, Superman was letting people die left and right and stuff like this, and all, he would never do that. And I'm like, I don't know. What did you guys take on that? Because that's like in that end scene with Zod, everybody made a big deal about that.
Let the man finish his sentence, Rocks. Damn.
Go ahead.
I'll say it before Charles says it, because I know Charles will say the same thing as me. What it comes down to is what we discussed earlier, is that he's not Superman in this film. This is Superman day one. He just put on the suit. This is his first major battle. How do you expect him to be perfect Superman?
How would you react if you were the first on the job?
Right?
True.
Okay. Let me give you some more backstory real quick. Okay. You know how Christopher Reeves was just that, pretty much that same 3-act structure. He come from Krypton. He's there as a baby. He grows up, got his powers. Daily Planet, Lois, Lex, done. Right? Okay. Snyder's intention was to take that film, Man of Steel, and turn him into the Superman everybody knows in 5 films. That was the point. He was gonna take him from down and out Clark Kent when he was a kid, bullied the whole nine, a rookie on the job for the very first time, all the way to his growth. He dies. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you anything, but I'm not gonna tell you anything else. But let's just say it was from birth to death to rebirth was the point. He was gonna do Superman saga in 5 films instead of just one.
Yeah.
The last film that he was gonna do was gonna be that Boy Scout with the S and ripping the shirt open and the whole 78 Superman. That was the point. He was going to take him from Man of Steel. He was going to take that journey, just like Lord of the Rings, right? You know how Frodo went on that journey in 3 films, basically? Yeah, that was basically what he was doing, and people didn't understand it.
Yeah,
back then they just didn't understand what he was doing. So yeah.
So with all that being said, my very last question for you, Flix, how has reacting to this film changed your overall interest in Superman as a character versus other heroes, like let's say Batman, Wonder Woman, or any other superhero film you take in? What is it about this film that's changed your entire view on Superman?
Well, I am glad that I get to watch 2 more Henry Cavill, because as far as I know, this is all we get from Henry Cavill, right? The next 2 films, which is BVS and for now. So I'm excited that I don't just have Man of Steel to watch.
Right.
So I'm very excited, intrigued, and I don't know anything about the other characters because I did not see I'm drawing blanks. The Batman what's his name? The actor that plays Batman.
Robert Pattinson?
No, the one in the BVS.
Oh, Ben
Affleck.
I have not seen Ben Affleck's performance of it. I know the bulky suit, so I know what that looks like.
He in for a treat, boy. He in for a treat, man.
I'm excited.
And he's watching, and he's not even going to watch the theatrical. He's going directly
right
to the
He's going directly to the ultimate, man. Oh, God, you in for a treat,
Everybody said Ultimate 3-hour edition. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm locked in. I'm gonna do it.
Should we give him a sample? Should we give him a taste? Just
real quick before we do that. What advice would you give to people who haven't seen Man of Steel yet? That's how I want to end this. What advice would you give to people who haven't seen this movie yet?
Simply watch it and compare and contrast. I would urge you guys. I don't think. Charles, you said you didn't watch Superman 2025, right? Raw Talks, did you watch it?
We actually kind of led a boycott, which is why we're very principled about not seeing this yet.
I would still say watch it on a Sunday afternoon doing laundry or whatever, just so you guys can compare and contrast. I know you guys are already gonna hate it, but
I like to bullshit and talk shit. Like I told him he'd have to see me in hell first before I watch it, but I'll watch it. I mean, I'm going to watch it because I'm going to be fair. I do want to do a fair comparison because I did watch the first season of Peacemaker. So our major problem is let James Gunn do what James Gunn want to do, but don't try to circumvent that with something else that we had that you didn't finish. That's our main argument. That's always been our main argument.
We even organized a trending event for the premiere of Superman. We bought we got a trailer, an LED truck, and we took it to New York at the Charging Bull to protest against Superman. And
Are you effing kidding me?
No.
Really?
So what we
wait,
did
you guys did? You guys did?
What we did was the event was called #Henry Cavill Superman #Wallets Closed, and it was our way of telling the movie studio that until you guys finish Henry Cavill's story, our wallets are staying closed.
Before we move on, let me give Flix a little bit of backstory. All right, so to us, DC has always been serious. They take the character seriously. Obviously, Chris Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, all that stuff, which is why they hired Snyder. Blah blah blah. Up to that part. Serious filmmaking, art. That's how we like our comic book movies to be. Warner Brothers was chasing Marvel the whole time. They've been trying to chase Marvel. They've been trying to be like Marvel. They've been trying to make DC like Marvel. So they basically made Zack Snyder change his whole direction. Probably more than once. And then when it came to the other movies that you're about to see, very decisive. BVS was very decisive, but now people are realizing that was the movie that should have been in theaters in the first place. He was making Zack Snyder's Justice League. He lost his daughter. He left. They brought in Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon, the Avengers guy. Joss Whedon tried to turn Justice League into a Marvel film. Although it made pretty good money at the film, it was critically panned. It was total destruction, a bastardization of what his film was. We fought to get Zack Snyder's Justice League. We got it finally. 5 years we fought for it. Finally got it on HBO Max. Then once that movie was a success on HBO Max, which it was, we said restore the whole goddamn Snyder Verse. Just give it all back and let him finish the rest of his story. All we needed was 2 more movies, dude. Justice League number 2 and 3, and he would have been done. That'd have been it. And then somebody would have made a Flashpoint movie. Somebody would have come. What was his name? Rick Famuyiwa. Yeah. So he would have came in, made a Flash movie that would have basically reset the universe, and then anybody can come in and do what the hell they want after that. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why we're
respect the dedication, guys. I do. I really because I once again, and the reason why I took a chance with this is because I didn't want to be that guy that just shit on a franchise. Like I said, I was shitting on DC because I was like, oh, their CGI wasn't up to what I thought was the standards based off all the early Marvel. I'm going to be honest, guys. There has not been a good Marvel movie since after Endgame. There has not been a fucking good Marvel. There has not.
Spider-Man. No Way Home.
Okay, so then maybe after No Way Home.
Okay, it was all right.
Maybe after No Way Home.
If you rip out the cameos from that movie, it would not have been as memorable. So
okay, fair enough.
I take it back. After No Way Home, because after that's when people started saying about all this superhero fatigue, and we were, stop it. I think Marvel's main downfall, and I mean I can't say downfall because obviously they're going to make money, right? Even though it's not the money that Disney wants. They kept focusing on so many damn shows, bro. So many damn shows. When you focus on so many shows, you can't focus on the movies, the main art of it, the quality, right?
Because then you got to watch those shows to figure out what the hell is going on.
Got to do all this homework, and I was not ready to do all that. Yeah, I watched like the WandaVision and stuff like that, and I started watching Agatha all along. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I was not with it. So. It was not for me, and I fell off of it. So, and then then I really started following all the movie numbers, right? And all the projected numbers. Then I started seeing how they started treating certain studios and all these headlines and clickbait. They were saying Superman was going to make 150 million domestically. Then it kept dropping down, 120, then 90. And I'm like, what is happening here? Something's going on where they're trying to hype up. Someone's getting paid off to hype up all this shit so they can really go out in theaters and get these actual numbers. It didn't hit what they wanted. And I'm still to this day that they did not make profit off this movie. Everybody wants to tell me I'm crazy. That's fine. I do not think that this movie hit what it was supposed to. I think it was like 100 million, a little over 100 million shy than what it needed to make profitable. I don't know what the streaming numbers are, and that's a whole different entity. That's a whole different entity. But people are still saying, they're still tagging me on Twitter saying, ha ha ha, Superman made 600 and whatever million, right? And Man of Steel lost $43 million, something like that. Or it was only profitable 43.
Business model, unless they change their whole business model to say, you know what, we're just not going to even go for it anymore. We'll just take what we can get. If that's what the investors accepted, then okay, I'll believe it made profit.
Yeah.
I'll just say this. We are only 2 months out since that movie's theatrical release, and you can already watch it for free on HBO Max. That's all you got.
It came to digital in a month, bro. In a month.
35 days.
Yeah. And that's happening with all these. Thunderbolts came out a month. Captain America came out like a month and some change. All of these movies are coming out to digital so they can try to recoup. And the physical only matters for us fucking nerds that collect the physical. No. I mean, they're not throwing all their eggs in the basket with physical.
It's the digital sales they want. Yep.
It's the digital sales that they want. And they will do anything to conflate these numbers, including not really putting out the real numbers. How many times is Disney on the back end? They lied about all these numbers with Doctor Strange 2. Yeah, I'm not going to rant because I do this all the time on my live stream.
If only I wish you knew the story behind how they buried the numbers with Zack Snyder's Justice League.
They buried
That's
it,
what I'm saying.
That month when Zack Snyder's Justice League came out on HBO Max, it shit broke the internet. It broke everything.
Crashed the platform.
HBO, the servers, everything, man. Yeah.
I don't know if it's true, but people were saying that more people watched on streamer in the first 3 days Black Adam than the new Superman. I don't know if that's true or not.
I went to go watch Black Adam.
Yes, so it is.
Someone put out that number. Yeah, someone put out that. I saw it on. I saw it on streamer, but that's what I'm saying is that when you lie about these numbers and you don't talk about reshoots or you neglect to mention the reshoots because people know that they're going to add, that all adds up. Reshoots ain't free. What the fuck? Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that reshoots cost money. So you got to add that into, and nobody wants to do the math.
Add the switch up of the composers and the two different composers that they had.
Everything.
Add all that up, man. And they conveniently, they don't mention the marketing.
The marketing, yeah.
Let me tell you something, though. Let me tell you something. There was a tweet that I just remembered now that James Gunn talked about a long time ago when somebody asked him that very same question. He said, no, don't be ridiculous. Something like, my movie only cost $225 or $225 million. He's right. You know why he's right? Because DC Studios wasn't the one that picked up the marketing bill. That's why they kept mentioning that DC Studios to produce this movie only cost $225 million. Yeah, I believe that. But what about the marketing? Who fit the bill for that? Who fit the bill for the reshoots? Who fit the bill for changing composers? Who fit the bill for all of that? That movie was just not. That's like saying that movie only cost $112 million $112 million to make. That's basically how they're trying to make it sound. Like the marketing was all tied up in the 225
that budget. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why.
So ironically, then so then that movie would be $112 million, only what $20 million shy of what it cost to make Sinners, which was only $90 million. Give me a fucking break, bro. Come on now.
Variety came out and they said it was profitable of $125 million. As soon as that happened, I went on live stream and I was like, there's no way. We have to do the movie math, guys. Superman 2025 did not make $125 million profitable. What, like,
we ran the numbers through Grok, through AI. And I think even AI said it only made like 20 million profit or something.
At best, I came up with a number of between 46 million and like 56 or 60 million dollars, somewhere around there.
Your chatter right there is saying it needed to make 700 million plus to make profit, and it didn't.
Those
were the numbers that I was pulling up initially before they or when they came out with that 125 mil, and people were telling me that I was crazy. Yeah, you have to $2.5 million your budget in your market. What is? I don't understand why people. It makes me upset.
And
because
the crazy thing is,
people are being hoodwinked.
And the crazy thing too is, we even had the Ohio tax receipts come out. We saw the number. It was much higher than 220. We broke it down.
Like
Charles did a whole
360.
breakdown
It
on
was $363 million, and then they got an Ohio tax credit for like
11 million or
$11 million. So take that 11
I
million
did.
off.
I did see that. Yeah.
And then that's what basically, at least where it started. So, yeah.
But James Gunn will never admit to that
Like-
for some
like-
reason.
like-
It'll
Flix,
destroy their movie.
Like I told you, Flix, you got dragged into a culture war here.
Yeah.
With a comic book culture war, because like I said, this has been going on for years with Snyder. He's been sabotaged. He's been trashed so many times from Hollywood. It's crazy.
All because he wouldn't play ball. All because he is an artist first.
This man
went to school for this stuff, bro. He went to school for this before he went to school for filmography. He was an artist. That's what he did: painting, sculptures, all that. He did that stuff, and he incorporates that into his films, which is why he's a visual. He's like the best at it because he literally can put that in.
And even Christopher Nolan has said in articles that he does all the superhero movies that are coming nowadays. There's none that he doesn't see Snyder's influence.
Yeah. So
yeah. And at the end of the day, for me, I know numbers aside, I know it's a big deal, but numbers aside, what is the overall best film, of the Superman movie? And that's what I took into consideration. And for myself, it was Man of Steel, and I wanted to continue this journey like the fans, like you guys are saying. And I'm going to make that determination for myself. I mean, I bought the dang movies because I want to watch them in the highest, best quality and the sound and everything, right? and I want to do myself a service because I did not see these films in theaters.
Man,
imagine, Flix, imagine. So when we ran the numbers, we estimated around 83 to 85 million globally. The 83 million people saw Superman, or 83 million tickets basically were sold.
Yeah.
Globally in 2013's Man of Steel. 83 million people. Imagine how many people just like you who still haven't watched Man of Steel or BVS or ZSJL and would react exactly the same way with emotion, with hope, with like, wow, like this is amazing. Because like your reaction was so pure that no fucking shill can hide. No article can hide that. I don't care how good you are at AI, the way you reacted to that.
And he's not the only one. Do you know how many videos we've seen with people finally seeing these films from Zack Snyder and
now they're finding out now.
They're finding out now, bro. Maybe they weren't ready for it, 10, 11, 12 years ago. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. Maybe the audience wasn't ready for that. But they're seeing it now and they're like, damn.
Yeah. What it is too, Charles, is I think now they have something to compare it to. Now they realize, we fucked up. We got to go back. So
real quick, guys, what do you think of the Man of Tomorrow that James Gunn is doing? It's coming out in 2 years.
Man of Tomorrow?
I don't think it's going to see the light of day.
You know what? Let's wrap this part of it up, but we're gonna slide into that because that's actually part of what we're gonna be talking about.
We're gonna wrap that. That's the wrapping topic. That's the wrapping topic. So
we can talk about that.
So, but anyway, guys, if you're jumping in, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We got Flix Talk here. Go check his channel up and subscribe. He is one hell of a cinephile, and after this conversation, man, I really want to thank you. I really want to thank you because, like as we said earlier, we've tried, because we've been trying to unite the DC community, the DC fandom, because we're split in half because of this polarization of comic books and movies. And to get people like yourself who have nothing to do with comics or anything, who have nothing to do with it, are having authentic reactions to art, because that's what it is. It's art. This is our art, and art is described in so many ways: poetry, filming, writing, music, everything.
Well, all right, man. I appreciate that. Real quick, I just want to say real quick, and I think what it is that you either get two sets of reactors: people that are going to be authentic, and those that are scared of these studios, what they could possibly do. Because I know for a fact people have gotten copyright strikes for saying certain things, they're showing certain things, you know, and it's not 1000% YouTube's fault. It's the studios that are all aligned with YouTube that have these copyright systems that, I mean, Warner Brothers is notorious for
the
it,
worst,
right?
bro. And I'm going to tell you something. We
The
did
worst.
when we did. Me and Phil edited the Batman and TMNT video that we did, where he was reacting to seeing them in theaters. We didn't get a single strike for any clip from TMNT. Everything Batman got struck. Every single clip, every single like, and we're not even talking long clips. We're talking like 2-second clips. Strike, strike.
It's tough, man.
Like it's they're drops that are not even plotting anything about the movie. It's not spoiling anything. It's just a moment in a scene where you get like, whoa, hey, and they struck you with that bullshit. But my
dream, as long as I'm alive and I'm a creator on YouTube, is that these studios work out some kind of agreement with YouTube to allow more to be shown with the reactors and not strike them or whatever, because essentially we are promoters for them to go watch the movie.
Product. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, if you like my reaction, guys, and you haven't seen the movie, go watch it in full. It's streaming now on whatever, or go buy it or whatever it is. It's a promotional tool.
And this is the funny part, is that we podcasters, YouTubers, we're the new media now. People come to us. They don't, corporate media is every day is dying and dying and dying. People come here because right here, you get people like us.
All right, Phil, you don't want to hear our crybaby story, man. Come on, let's go. You don't want to hear our sad song. You know why he's here.
All right. So, next topic. The Batman Part 2 news. Some other DC topic. These two, we got two more topics here, but these are quick ones. But basically, Matt Reeves has finished the script. It's done. And they are getting ready to shoot this movie. I believe it's March of next year or something. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, let me see. Matt Reeves shares some news about the Batman Part 2. In the red carpet interview with Josh Howard, Reeves said that highly anticipated sequel will focus more on character of Bruce Wayne, since the first is so focused on Batman. Reeves pointed out that in the previous films, the origin story is often the meat of Wayne's background, but with the Batman Part 2, fans will see the man behind the mask in new ways. So, and I heard they're working on something for a villain that has never been done before. So I'm pretty excited to see that stuff about it. But yeah, so just go look up the information. His script is they finally got it locked in, and some very good news. From what I understand, it is not going to be part of James Gunn's DCU or part of his universe. Thank goodness for that.
Do the sign of the cross, guys.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Woo! So,
have you seen Flix? Have you seen the first one, the Batman?
Oh yeah. I actually seen it 3 times now. I saw it once alone, and then I went to go see it with my family, and then I bought it on 4K and I watched it in the comfort of my own home. I know it's a long movie. I really like it. I know it has slower paces and stuff like that, and it's kind of like, you know, very emo and stoic and stuff like that. I actually appreciate and like I said, I've seen all the Batman movies, and I really appreciate each character that portrays Bruce Wayne, and because you can kind of find, you know, different things that you like and of course dislike from each one that plays Batman. But I liked it. I dug it. There were some parts I really didn't like. I have not seen the Penguin. I know we're going to talk about that, and I know that was a huge successful project that a lot of people liked. But I'm excited, to keep this moving. But it seems like it's kind of been in production, like paused for a while.
Oh yeah,
getting this script out has been a real issue.
Yeah.
And also, rumor has it that Matt Reeves, I think, was having some health problems. I think that was also going on. So
okay.
But real quick, who do you guys think this villain's going to be? My guess, I am keeping fingers crossed. I would like to see them tackle Hush. I would like to see Matt.
That's what I think it's going to be.
Hush. Yeah, and he's never been done before on the big screen, so hopefully, again.
What about you, Phil? Who do you think it's going to be?
I'm between Hush and the Court of Owls.
Okay,
could be both.
Yeah.
It could be both.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know too much about the villains, but I'm going to say, are we going to see more of that Joker that we saw from what's that actor's name?
Oh, Barry. Not supposedly he was going to be on the third one, but
okay.
but we don't know yet. Like
I'll be honest. I hope they stay away from him.
Now that you mention him, I want your honest reaction on that scene. When that Joker scene, that deleted scene.
Sure.
I want your honest reaction.
And that's the thing too, is that when you've seen everybody that's portrayed Joker thus far, he was probably the weaker of the. I mean, I'm not obviously not the weakest. The weakest goes to with Jared Leto for me. But I didn't dig it. I mean, obviously it's a scene.
Yeah, just wait. I'd love to get your opinion soon.
Oh no, does he come back? Does he pop up in one of these movies I'm about to watch?
We'll talk about it after you've seen it.
Oh shit!
Let's just say the acting that you get in that film, is not David Ayers, bro. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, like that's
the Leto you saw. That ain't David Ayers, bro.
And like I said, dude, there's
and
so
it
much
carried over,
there's layers,
and it carried over to he's in Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's all I'm gonna say. Near the end,
I guess
not a big thing, but you can tell the difference between the two. Trust me.
And the other thing I want you to also keep in mind, dude, is that David Ayer with his Suicide Squad movie went through literally the exact same bullshit that Zack Snyder went through with Zack Snyder's Justice League. Literally beat for beat. So the performances and what you're seeing in that movie are not David. It's not what David Ayer actually wanted. There is he has come out publicly, just like Zack Snyder did when he mentioned, I have my Zack Snyder's cut. David Ayer has a cut of his version of that movie.
His version of the
and
film.
He has publicly stated that Jared Leto's performance was destroyed by the studios. That there's much.
So you guys are giving the grace then. I've never heard this side of people saying that they like Jared Leto. I mean, I see a guy in the comments saying that's the best one. I mean, that's a strong ass claim, man. But I'm on a whole nother spectrum with you guys right now. Like I'm on a whole nother side of the. You know what I mean?
Claim.
You took the red pill with us.
You're a rebel, sir.
I guess I was drinking the Kool-Aid then, and I was drinking. I don't know. I was on the wrong side, I guess, basically, when I was hearing this stuff. Because once again, you guys know your shit. I don't know my shit when it comes to this, so I can admit that, and that's why I want to jump into this and really compare and contrast. But from what I've seen so far, I didn't like that Barry Keoghan version. I mean, my favorite is still obviously going to be the Jack Nicholson. To be honest, I am a huge Joaquin Phoenix fan, so I do love Joaquin Phoenix's version, even though everyone is a diehard Heath Ledger fan. I don't know which one I like out of those two, to be honest. But I was drinking the Haterade, Mr. Wrestler, to say that's fine. I'll call it what it is. I was drinking the Haterade. Like I said, I'm awakened. I'm awakened now, and I'm saying it here.
Have you ever seen? Did you ever get the opportunity to see the TV show Gotham?
No, I didn't.
I really think you would dig their interpretation of Joker. There was an actor by the name of Cameron Monaghan. You can look him up. You play video games at all?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Oh, man. He was in one of the Star Wars video games. He was in a few TV shows, a few other movies. Look him up. If you go on YouTube and just type in Cameron Monaghan Joker, take a look at that clip and let us know what you think whenever you got time, brother.
Okay.
We'll
do.
Now, so Nicholson was your Joker.
Yes.
And
mainly because the nostalgic factor, of course, just like growing up and stuff like that. But that was my main.
Yeah, I can respect that. Now, when it comes to the performance, because this, sorry, let me repeat that question. The performance and design. What were your thoughts on that? Because the design of that Joker was very polarized, and I personally hated the design. The performance, I loved it.
Okay,
I'm one of the few that loved it, but the design, it was too much.
See, because I don't have anything to compare it to because I didn't grow up on comic books like you guys did. So if you're comparing the design to something that looked different than what you read, then obviously, or seen in comic book form, I think that's going to be your difference there.
Do you know how I can compare it? This joke, I can compare it to Heath Ledger. In which way? So basically, the story between Batman and the Joker is they are the yin and the yang, basically. So the Joker's always poking the bear, trying to poke on Batman's psyche all the time. Once you see Justice League, that scene that Charles is telling you, you will understand what I'm telling about.
The best thing you could compare to right now is actually in The Dark Knight, when Joker's hanging upside down and he's having that conversation with Batman where he's saying, I think you and I are destined to do this for the rest of... That's basically what he's alluding to there. That is, in essence, that relationship with Batman and Joker. They are destined to do this tango, this dance, until the
love hate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So moving on to Charles, you want to add anything else or
no? Let's wrap it on up, bro.
All right,
we press for time now, so let's go.
All right. So next topic is the Penguin. So where is the Penguin? Penguin. Oh crap! I lost it again. I'm sorry. Penguin.
Unprepared Phil. Hashtag unprepared Phil.
It happens sometimes. I forget stuff. Okay, so the Penguin here is nope, not that one. Oh shit! God damn it!
They were nominated for
Here
24 Emmys. They won about 8 of them, most of them with creation and costume design. Kristen Milioti took home the one for Best Actress in a Best Lead Actress in a TV show or something like that. That's basically the gist of it. Come on, Phil. Anyway, the Emmy wins. The praise that this film has gotten, with Colin Farrell behind it, with Christian Miliotti's acting behind it, this TV show has been praised by many, and it basically highlights what great filmmaking and great TV show making is. And that was the point behind all of these wins. Everything from the costume design all the way down to the acting, everything was points to the audience's need to not be having to be talked to or fed anything, or they understand nuance, they understand drama, they understand thriller, they understand the excitement of making films like this and why they are extremely important, and why just going to the movies to see a cookie cutter superhero film with giggles and laughs has no substance. These wins, in my opinion, prove why the audience is yearning for something more. This TV show was fire. It was one of the best TV shows I have ever seen. So it was a phenomenal show, exactly just like Gilmore Girls said. It was a phenomenal show. But the wins, those awards, that tells you what people actually want.
You know what else I think is telling is actually James Gunn's reaction to the Penguin winning all these awards. Did you guys catch his reaction?
Yeah.
What reaction?
What reaction? Exactly. He didn't say
Exactly.
a damn thing. He didn't say congratulations. He didn't come out and congratulations the cast, the crew. He didn't say one single word about it, bro. But we got us some slow motion dick flapping and Peacemaker season 2 episode 1. That was fire.
You love that show, don't you?
I actually really liked the first season. Now I don't want to watch the season 2 because of what Charles is saying.
Oh,
And the funny thing is, I found elements in the first
you do
season
not
that I
want to.
loved.
You do not want to
remember
watch
the
the
scene-
first episode of season 2.
Do you remember the scene where he was obviously dancing in his drawers? I don't know why they had to do all that. But remember the flashback scene when he killed his brother?
Mm-hmm.
That was a moment that I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Do more of this. And then the moment he did it, he turned it right back into fart and pee-pee. And then it was over.
Man.
And then it was over. That's what
now-
I'm saying. I'm just like, bro, you can get there. It's like you get there. As soon as you get there, it's like, this shit makes me uncomfortable. Let me pull it back with a joke or some fart and some pee-pee. That's what he does.
And now you get Floppy Wiener.
And now you got Floppy Wiener. I barely got through that first episode. The only reason I watched it is because I wanted to review it. And I reviewed it. So it's up. But yeah, I reviewed it. And I'm like, nope, I can't. And in slow motion, bro. Oh.
I'm almost like certain at this point they're just creating these scenes just to be clickable moments, right? These little viral content clips that are going to go. They know how it's going to do on Twitter, and everybody's going to talk about it. You know what I mean? It's like, why would you
content for Twitter?
It's like, this is James Gunn. This is what your legacy is going to be: dick flapping in slow motion, just so you could be a talk of the week. That's it. You didn't make a show that was memorable in any other way than that scene. That's ridiculous.
Hey, Phil, I got to get ready to go, man. So here's what I want to do. Let's go ahead and shuffle some stuff around. Let's do this announcement thing here. I'm going to let y'all talk about Warner Brothers and Discovery and Netflix and all that, but I got to go, okay?
Yeah, we can
All
do
right,
that.
so yeah, we can. Yeah, all right. So, do you want to start, Charles?
All right, I will go ahead and start. So, after much deliberation between the three of us, we have decided that the Lethal Geeks, we are going to take a hiatus for a while. I got a lot of stuff that I want to focus on with my family, with everything that's going on in the world right now. I need my attention focused on them. But I'm not going anywhere permanently. We're not going anywhere permanently, but we will not be having any more live shows probably for about 6 months. We're going to come back and revisit everything to see how stuff looks, man. But right now, I want to focus on my family and everything we're going to be doing here going forward. I wanted to say that I appreciate everybody that decided to give this channel a chance. Everybody that decided to follow us, even the people that came in and didn't quite disagree with everything that we were saying with regarding to this fandom. I appreciate everybody's opinions. You guys, Phil, Rox, I love you guys, man. And hopefully, sometime in the future we can come back and revisit this thing. But yeah, it's time for me to focus on protecting my family, and I don't know what the future is going to hold, but I really appreciate you guys. I do love you guys. I'll be around. We're not completely shutting everything down. We're just gonna kill the streaming, but we're still gonna do Lethal Geeks debrief.
We're gonna be doing live. We're not doing live content, basically.
We're gonna be focused on the Lethal Geeks debrief, which is my segment basically, where I do, I look at news, I react on news. I'm gonna be doing movie reviews in the Lethal Geeks debrief as well. We're still gonna talk about One Shot. Yeah, Film Vault. There we go. Film Vault. Yeah, go ahead and talk about One Shot if you want to. But so that's what's going on. Like I said, I appreciate everybody. I love you guys. So we'll see how everything looks. Go ahead, brother.
So on my end, guys, I'm actually relocating. I'm moving to South America. I'm going back to Chile in the next coming months. So I also need to focus my attention to that, to prepping, moving shit here and there. So it's a lot of things that I need to do, and I need to focus on some me time also, because I'm not gonna lie, and we are in some polarizing times now, and I need a break from social media, basically.
Yeah.
And I need a break also from all this DC fighting and geeking and Flix. I know you're here. We're talking about a movie, but this, like I said, unfortunately, this has become a cultural war between fandom that, unfortunately, it kind of gets to your mental health sometimes, and you gotta take a break, because at the end of the day, this is just movies. It's not about life or death.
Trust me when I say we didn't think about giving you a year of the best that we can give you and just decide. It's not like that at all. It's just that things are happening so fast, and my attention is so divided, and I need to start trying to hone in now on what's best for me and mine. So yeah, and then with this culture war stuff going on with DC and Marvel and gun fans and all of that, it's taking a toll. It's taking a toll. So.
So, but we'll still be doing like Charles said, we're going to be doing, I'll be doing one shots, and I'll be doing the film reviews also, the Film Vault, and the comic book reviews. So content will be coming out, guys. So it's not like we're
not going anywhere. We're just not doing the
we're going to be putting a pause on the live streams.
That's all. Yeah, but we're still going to do our movie reviews. I'm still going to do my news segments, all of that good stuff. Yeah, and
I know a lot of people are going to be honest, because it is kind of, this show was kind of the return from a hiatus, and we did have some other stuff lined up, which I'm yet to get a hold of certain individuals who I have spoken to already, and I will be getting a hold of you guys, because I know we did promise you guys a spot, just like we gave Flix Talks here tonight on the show. But just unfortunately, with the way things are kind of panning out right now, I think this break is really needed for the entire team, for all of us. Putting the production behind the segments, the debrief, the one shots, the film vault, it's very time consuming, guys. And for us to be pumping out that content while Phil is in the middle of a move is going to be difficult, but at the very least we want to be able to provide that to you guys, and we're going to do our best to keep that going. From my end of things, I have been giving a lot of thought as to what I would like to do with myself and the Lethal Geeks brand in the coming future, and I don't think I am far off from launching the Rock Talk show, guys. So when that is ready, that will also be something that hits the Lethal Geeks platform. Again, as you guys can see, we've built a segment for Phil here to do his one-shot reviews. We've built the debrief segment over here for Charles. Now that that's up and running, I can finally maybe focus on something for myself. So while we're taking that break, that's kind of the plan. I'm not going to give out a date as to when we're going to start that, when it's going to launch. I'm just going to say coming soon in the near future, guys.
Mm-hmm. So we're, like I said, we're still around, and we're not going to be, pumping out the live
also,
videos and all that, but we will be around, and we'll still be giving you guys content.
And one last thing, and when we do come back and do live shows, because we were always doing every 2 weeks, it's impossible for us now to do every 2 weeks, because to get a guest, plus doing all the content, plus our busy schedules, life, etc. So one of the things that we want to focus mostly also is quality over quantity. Like right now, Flix Talk is here. This is a quality guest that we want to bring to you guys, the audience, to meet and to meet someone else who loves movies, not just comic books, but also movies. This is the type of guests that we want to try to bring into our platform, but that requires time. Requires time, networking, and honestly, reputation. Because we're still building our reputation. And we've always been, we've been DC, heavy DC, but we also want to expand to other niches like Marvel, do a little sci-fi, a little horror. We want to be able to also be a movie talking channel, a movie.
Be able to come back to you guys better than we ever have, and I think that this time out will give us the time that we need to focus on the things that we want to do. Provided that the future gives us that opportunity to do that. So that's why we're going to take this time and kind of retool and refresh and just try to breathe new life into ourselves and see how we come out on the other side, though. But like I said, I got to get ready to go. Flick Talk, brother, thank you so much for coming on, man. We have been dying to get, and we've had people before, but you represent a middle ground. Because you are a movie fanatic, you know what comic books are, you know of comic books, you know what a comic book movie is, but you look at it through a cinematic lens, and that's what we appreciate. And that is the type of guests, those are the guests that we've been looking for. So you can make that decision, whether it was good, whether it was bad, whether or not it was a comic book movie. And you are the exact type of guest that we yearn to have on this type of platform. So don't be a stranger. We'll be around. Just like I said, we may pull you in for a review for a movie we've both seen, and we can, you know what I mean, and we can chop it up that way. So we're not going down. Just like I said, everybody in the chat, I sincerely love you guys. This has been one hell of a journey that we started last year. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Rocks, Phil, you know I love you guys, man. I hope one day we actually get to meet physically in the future sometime.
We will.
We will. With you guys, but I love you guys. Peace out. That is my run. These guys are going to get into the whole Netflix and Paramount and everything else here, and Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So thank you guys again for all your support.
Good to
Peace.
meet you, man. Good to meet you,
Peace,
Charles.
brother.
All right, Charles.
Peace, man.
We'll talk
I know
later.
that, buddy.
Good night.
Well, there he goes.
All right.
And real quick, I just want to say too, guys, Flix, I have to give you so much credit, dude. I want to say that you are the first guest that after I reached out to you and I asked you for a logo and 3 photos that you think would look awesome on a poster, you get it, bro. PNG logo, 3 PNG photo files. That's what we
Do you know how many times this guy has complained to me?
And the thing is, a lot of people they don't have the background that I have with marketing. They don't understand what like a basic portfolio is. And I think having that makes life so much simpler, dude. Thank you so much for understanding that concept.
And I felt bad because you messaged me on Twitter and I didn't get the notification until days later, and I was like, oh shit, I left him hanging for a couple of days, and I'm like, I felt bad about that because usually I'm really quick with the responses, and if I would have saw it on that exact day, I would have responded right away. But yeah, no, I'm glad this was a smooth transition as far as like getting me on here, and just in that moment, guys, I felt like I was a fly on the wall. Like you guys all just explaining what was going on, and I totally get it. About not even just the moving part, but like about taking the mental break. Because I feel it all the time. Like I told you guys, I have a full-time job. I mean, obviously, I have my husband duties over here to take care of as well, and then everything else we do here on YouTube. YouTube, that's a hobby. No kids. No kids. No kids. Just me and my girl and my cat. I'm a cat dad. I'll just say that. But I mean, we all have our duties, right? And then of course, time is always a time management is always a thing for us. So I try to get in as much as I can, but I get it. I totally get it, and I think I will just say this because I never want to tell people what to do. Tune out the negative noise, man. If it means turning off your comments, if it means disabling your comments, do it. You got to do what's best for you. Fuck whatever anybody else says about anything else. Do it. Because I had mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream or off air, is that since the Man of Steel reaction or even the Superman 2025 reaction, I had to disable my YouTube Studio notifications because they were just coming in just every like 5 minutes, like shitting on me. You know what I mean? Or shitting on Snyder. It was shitting on the Snyder Verse basically. And instead of checking my phone every 5 seconds like that endorphin high that we get when we get a notification, right? I just chose to turn it off. My day has gone so much better by doing that. So do little things like that to cut out the noise. I'm not saying that that's the complete solution for everybody. I'm just saying that worked for me. What
I've done is I've gotten off Twitter. I've gotten off Twitter because
I trust me. I've given a lot of thought
too,
about getting off Twitter, and basically, I'm giving some thought into just keeping our official Lethal Geeks account open for promotion and whatnot, and doing everything through that with Twitter because it is a cesspool of negativity all the time, and when you're trying to work towards a goal, when you're trying to build, that is what pulls you back down. And I don't think we need that, So it's something that one day if Rock Talks just silently disappears off Twitter, know that you guys can still get a hold of me through the Lethal Geeks page. But that is kind of the direction I think things are going to start to head very soon. But other than that, dude, like I said, your level of professionalism has just been. I want to see more of that from the YouTube community. I want to see more people who understand how to put together a proper portfolio, not waste people's time, and be willing to do these cross-promotional interviews, like having each other on different platforms and whatnot. And it's amazing because there have been a lot of people who it's like I've reached out to, and I'm not reaching out. It's not to build our platform. It's to build a bigger community. It's to get us all working together. And a lot of people don't see that. I guess they don't understand that collaborative idea. So again, man, thank you so much. Thank you for agreeing to do this. Thank you for coming here, and thank you for being on the level that I knew you were on as soon as I looked at your YouTube channel.
No problem, man. Because I've been there when I first started my channel. Like I was reaching out to people, and they would go, "What's your channel? How many subs do you have?" And as soon as I heard that, I knew I was going to get a no from people.
Yeah,
and it just depends. I mean, you have to. expect that from some people, but at the end of the day, you don't want to work with those people because they're only in it for one reason, obviously, to get views or cross promotion of the fan base and whatnot. And if I get some of your fans, that's great. If you get some of my fans, which I hope you do, I saw some of them in the chat, that's fantastic too. It's about growing the cinephile community as a whole. You know what I mean? And that's what it's going to be about, because obviously YouTube is more of a pre-recorded, hub. I get that. It's not like a Twitch or Kick or whatever it is where it's live streaming, right? Constantly. And I have to understand that too, is because I've tried multi-streaming and stuff like that. And it is tough. I mean, to pull in people on a live stream on YouTube, mainly people are here to watch the pre-recorded videos when they want. And I get it. I totally get that. Also, you can polish up and edit and stuff like that, but live streaming is a whole nother demon, right? You're doing it raw, you're doing it live. Sometimes you don't pull up the correct site or whatever. Shit happens, right?
And there's one take. There's no other takes. It's one take. And it's funny because, as me and Phil have been starting to fiddle with the pre-recorded content now, it's what I find hilarious is, like, for us, it's more natural for us to do the live show. Whereas when we're trying to pre-record, we're screwing up all the time. And I don't understand it, because it's like, we don't have these issues when we do a live show. Why are we screwing up when we're recording? It doesn't make sense. So
you're thinking about it too much. That's
why I have to wear these now on pre-recorded.
Literally, he's stealing
I'm stealing your tricks. Whatever, you didn't trademark it. I have to do this now, because
man.
I feel uncomfortable when I'm looking at myself in the camera, when I'm trying to do like a scripted video. It's just something visual to me. So I have to wear the glasses. So guys, now. So don't judge me for the glasses, please. I'm not going blind.
All right, buddy.
Well, I hope you guys. One more time. I was gonna say, I just thank you guys for having me on. I hope you guys continue doing what you do, whether you guys come back to live streaming or not, or more of a hiatus.
Whatever. We will, yeah.
This was a
content,
This was a fun time, just generally overall. And I think you guys are a great trio. I'll just say that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. So, last topic of the evening is Warner Brothers, Netflix, Paramount. And who knows, maybe more coming on the line. But rumor has it that, well, it's not a rumor, it's a fact. Paramount wants to bid for Warner Brothers. And now the word on the street is Netflix is also interested. And this is something that we, Flix, just to put you up to speed, as DC fans have been campaigning as well. When all this started to happen with the DC fandom fracture, pretty much it happened when James Gunn took over DC. And when we understood, many of us emotionally were like, fuck you, James Gunn, blah, blah, blah. Others, like ourselves, understood that the business side, that unfortunately this company was bought, and when you get a new owner, different coach, different quarterback, different liner, whatever. You get my meaning. So we understood that changes were going to be had. But at least some sort of respect for your consumers, your customers, the ones that pay for your product. At least listen for their petition. And us as fans have been campaigning for Snyder to finish his story. Because like we said, it's only two movies left.
And I think it's also important to highlight just how many campaigns there are, because it's not like we just did our, hashtag Henry Cavill thing, hashtag wallets closed. There's so many different hashtag campaigns in this fight. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag
release the Snyder Cut. That was the first one.
The first one was release the Snyder Cut. That's what kicked everything off, and that's how we got the Snyder Cut. But now, as we've shifted, and we're trying to get the end of Zack Snyder's DC arc, it kind of reformed into, there was restore the Snyderverse. There was hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix, which is something that I did a lot of promotional material for back in the day because it's something that I believe in. I still believe in until this day. And I do want to take this time right now to actually, I want to say this because there is a reason. How do I want to word this? There have been people pushing this idea for a very long time. At one point, I was a very big pusher of this idea as well. Okay. But the idea was hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix. And as we are now shifting into this moment where it actually seems like this is a real possibility, I am not going to sit here and ignore the people that made that a possibility. So I want to say to the Zack Snyder Cell movement, to guys like Skywalker the Jedi, guys like Bat Dan, Josh, that entire community, you guys earned this. You guys have been pushing and pushing and pushing, and now we are seeing it. We are seeing it. And, you know, there's a lot of platforms out there that don't like to give credit where it's due. And I've always said, and I've had my differences too with certain people, and, you know, we've all had our differences at some point or another. But what I want to say is, though, is that you guys earned this. Thank you guys for continuing to push that message, because it seems to me like this is the reality. This is what's coming to fruition. And we're going to have a conversation about Paramount and Netflix and all that. I do want to say, though, that Netflix, I personally think Netflix is the best place that would guarantee the Snyderverse to return. Because not only have we had these hashtag campaigns talking about this for years now, okay, we have also had we've had the former head of Netflix, I think it's Scott Stuber, even came out at one point and acknowledged this movement and said, the more Zack Snyder, the better. We want more Zack Snyder on this platform. So if Netflix, in my opinion, were to get DC, Snyderverse is guaranteed, almost, I'd say 99.99% guaranteed to come back. And I think we will get that conclusion if it gets over there. Whereas if Paramount buys DC, I don't think anything is guaranteed. We could, if Paramount were to get DC, we could be looking at another reboot all over again. So I don't understand why certain people in this fandom seem to be shilling for it to go to a company like Paramount. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If it goes to Netflix, it's guaranteed that we're going to get a conclusion to Zack's story. So why aren't we unifying and trying to push it in that direction? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You guys get what I'm saying? Everybody, it makes sense? Yep. So yeah, like I said, I want to give credit to the guys who have been pushing that movement for many years now, because this was your guys' doing, and you guys deserve all the credit in the world for it. So thank you guys. Thank you to the Sell Snyderverse to Netflix movement. Thank you, Skywalker the Jedi, for taking this fandom down this path. Because yeah, man, if it wasn't for you sparking that idea, I don't think we'd be here today. I don't think we would be talking about this. I don't think we would be looking at a article about Netflix reportedly planning to bid for Warner Brothers. So congratulations, guys.
All right. Yep. Congratulations, guys. All righty. I just
wanted to throw my hat in there with this offering. I think you're correct, Raw Talks. Between the two, Netflix is the home as far as it. And I've been following Netflix for such a long time, and it's only been recent since they've actually been like in the green. Like they've been a company that it took them a while to make a lot of money. Yet they were shelving out a lot of money to create these original movies or series or whatever it is. They are the home now. I mean, they're streaming live events now, so they have a lot of money backing them. I think this would be a perfect. Especially for the viewership. The viewership would be tremendous. I don't know how much different, because I see someone in the comments saying if it goes to Paramount, it's still a win because Cavill will return. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Where's that comment?
Yeah, where is that coming from? Where are you what information are you basing that off of? How do you know that Cavill will return? I
Yeah.
know that if it goes to Netflix, Netflix is basically Zack Snyder's home. They have the first look deal with him.
Yeah.
I know that if it were to go there, I think it's almost guaranteed that the Snyder, it's somebody used the analogy. I think it was Skywalker. I did check out his stream when this was all announced. He used a football analogy. He's like, all we need to do is kick a field goal, and you guys want to run for the home run. It doesn't make sense. Let's just kick the field goal and win the game. I totally agree with that. Netflix is a field goal kick away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that, to be honest. I would love to see it continue on there.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, is that doesn't mean it's not going to get a theatrical release. Netflix is putting more and more films into theaters. And I think if you want to start introducing the audience to more, like putting bigger Netflix movies in theaters, what better IP to do it with than Zack Snyder's Justice League?
The past is their top choice, and he has popularity. When has Paramount said this?
Yeah, if you could provide me with a link or an article, I definitely take a look at it, dude.
This is new to me as well.
Sin Havoc says Netflix is buying theater chains as well. So again, there you go.
So if this did come out on Netflix, what would be the best case scenario for you guys? To give it like a month theater run and then have it on their streaming platform, or would you want it longer in theaters before, or same day, like how they did? Who did that? Was that HBO? Did that?
Yeah.
That was no.
HBO Max did that with some of their other projects. They did that with some of the projects during COVID. But no, I would not want same day. I would like a real theatrical run. So let me just wrap that up, Phil. If they're getting in the business of theater, treat it like the business of theater.
True.
So this is the thing also, because one of the things that is also happening is a lot of tech companies are starting to buy companies. That's why you got Oracle, Ellison's dad was the CEO there to bid for Paramount. So he's got the money there. So basically, these tech companies are buying up companies. So Netflix is a tech company. Mm-hmm. So it started as a tech company, and it has evolved to studio, to studios and content creating and all that. Now, the good thing about buying Warner Brothers is, like you said, Rox, it's the theatrical, and also Warner Brothers is one of the few. Let me finish.
Yeah, finish up.
Is one of the few studios left that do physical media.
Okay.
So there you have a market for Netflix to get into physical media.
Pull up Sean O'Rourke's comment. And I'm going to read this, and I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. A good friend is a film finance manager at Netflix. I have asked him dozens of times, and he says no one is talking about the Snyder Verse at Netflix. Am I not looking at an article right here that says people are talking about the Snyder Verse at Netflix? Like, what are we talking about here? What's right in front of our face, Sean? Netflix reportedly planning bid to buy Warner Brothers. But according to your good friend, no one's talking about Snyderverse. Like, what? What?
Whatever, man. Like, Rox, just that's fine.
Bye. Anyways,
it doesn't matter if it's screen read, dude. The thing is, it's talking about it.
Bye.
That's the thing.
Bye. See you later.
Anyway, going forward, like I said, the theatrical run and the physical media, because Netflix doesn't do physical media. I think it's like you have to do like a petition with Netflix for certain movies to be released in physical media. I think I've seen a few out there, but I know people are like a lot of filmmakers are advocating for physical media, and Netflix is the only one who doesn't do physical media. So in a way, it's more money in their pocket. So what's your take on this, Flix? What do you think?
I mean, it is a little disheartening about the physical media aspect of it. I've seen people like resort to making bootlegs of stuff because they want that, certain show or whatever, or program or a movie on physical. But like you said, it does open up the possibility for them, if this does come to fruition, and if they are, I didn't even know they were buying up theaters. I did not know that. That they would want to put it on physical. They would want to recoup as much as they can, right? And you can only do that by merchandise and all this other stuff that goes along with it. So
I think Netflix does have a history of bringing stuff to physical. I'm pretty sure they have.
I was thinking that too. I think Netflix, I've seen a couple of titles that might be.
I'm gonna pull it up 1 second.
Yeah,
I think they did Stranger Things. I think that. Hang on, let's see here.
Oh yeah, Stranger Things have definitely been on physical.
Yeah, Stranger Things season 1 and 2, The Crown, The Irishman, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, Castlevania, all of this stuff, House of Cards, all of this stuff has physical releases. So I think we would definitely, I think that it depends on the project, and obviously a project like Zack Snyder's Justice League that they would give the big theatrical carpet rollout to. Yeah, I think they would do the physical for that. Plus, they know how many physical copies of the first Zack Snyder's Justice League sold. You know what I mean? They know like that movie was. You go look at the numbers for those physical copies through the roof.
I will say this to Sean's comment about this is written by Screen Rant. That's how I felt about the Variety thing, because everyone was believing Variety and they've been around since like the early 1900s. Why would they lie about this $125 million profit margin for Superman 2025? I get it. Like I get it that we have to rely on these companies to not spread rumors and stuff like that. We have to treat it as facts sometimes, and that they're doing their own, that it's not like a TMZ, right? Where it's like, oh, I heard this from this source or whatever. And, you know, because sometimes they get it wrong, sometimes they get it right. So it's just kind of like, it's what's being reported by multiple sources. And this is just one of them, right?
Well, and they're not the only ones reporting on this either.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, they aren't. It's
everywhere. Yeah. And Sean, it's all good. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
You got Yahoo News reporting on it. You got Collider. You got Screen Rant. You got Bleeding Cool News. It's everywhere. Anybody that's covering film is covering this acquisition and is talking about Netflix right now. So,
yeah.
So this is like I said, these are pros and cons going on. Me personally, at this point, I don't care where it lands. I just want it done. I just want Zack to finish his movies. If it gets to Netflix, great. If it goes to Paramount, great. I don't care.
Because we just want the movies, yeah.
I just want the movies. That's it. I've already paid my dues fighting for the Snyder Verse. Now I'm at the point like, just give me the movie, period. I don't care who gives it to me. And I'll celebrate it with all of you when the movie comes out. All right, enough talk. Time to wrap it up. It's late. So, final thoughts, man.
Where are you guys coming in from, by the way? I'm in California, so I'm on the West Coast time. It's only 8:30 over here.
I'm in Boston.
Boston? Okay, East Coast.
And I'm not too far from Toronto. I'm up in Canada.
Okay, so you guys are on the East Coast time.
We're on the East Coast, yeah.
Okay. You guys are probably like exhausted.
That's why Charles had to go to bed, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He keeps complaining he's too old for this shit. You know, he keeps saying he's too old for this shit.
No, I get it.
But Flix, you know what? Why don't you lead us with your final thoughts? Final thoughts on everything, on your evening here tonight, on your final thoughts on the Man of Steel stuff, final thoughts on Netflix, everything. What do you think?
Sure, man. Thank you guys for the movie news. I didn't know. Well, I knew about the Netflix acquisition or the deal that they're looking at, but I didn't know the full extent of it. Sometimes I'll bookmark certain articles to talk about on my channel, of course. And yeah, this is a great talk, guys. Once again, like-minded people. It makes me more intrigued to want to jump into these movies right away. Like I said, I'm starting the BVS tomorrow, Ultimate Edition. Beautiful. So I knew I was gonna have to dedicate, because Sunday I got all my laundry wrapped up, so I know I'm going to be free all day tomorrow. I'm going to dedicate my ass to sit here for 3 hours.
I'm going to give him a drop. I'm going to give it. Okay. I'm going to give you a drop. Just a taste.
All right.
Taste of what you're about to see tomorrow.
You're going to have to take it over.
Ah, right. Commencing drone mode. Thermal imaging is showing me 24 hostiles on the 3rd floor. Why don't I drop you off on the 2nd?
Nice. That was a computer setup, man, with the freaking toggle. I love that.
Oh, bro, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I can't
See,
wait.
This is just a sample.
And that's the whole thing. If they can blow me away with what I'm looking at, if I'm entertained, if I can feel things, that's all I want to see in a damn movie. Like, I don't want to have to choose sides.
That's what we all want. That's what we all want, my friend. That's what we all want.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be a fun time. No, I had a great time talking with you guys once again, and yeah, we'll just see what the future holds. And I hope you guys' future is bright with the content that you guys put out. And I would love to be back if you guys would have me, man.
There will be an open invitation for you, my friend. Trust me.
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
There was something I was going to add, but I'm getting old now too, so it kind of slipped my mind. Oh, that's what it was. Do you plan on doing a reaction video for the other two?
That's why I got them. Yeah, that's why I got them. No, so just so you guys know my setup. So I have two screens right here. I have a 24-inch screen and a 27-inch monitor. And I was mainly doing a lot of my reactions on a 27-inch monitor. And I was like, you know what? A lot of these movies that people want me to do are epic in scope. How can I watch BVS on a 27-inch monitor? So I ended up buying another 4K TV over here in my bedroom, and because I have everything just in my bedroom, it's not a separate room. It's we're in a small.
By the way, I love that poster of yours, the
Boondock Saints.
I found this. I found that at a thrift store, guys. At a thrift store for like $5.
What?
And it's not made out of it's made out of some material. It's not paper. It's made out of some weird thick material like cardboard. So I was like, I'm hanging that up because that's one of my favorite movies. But thank you for mentioning that. I love that movie. So I set up I got a 55-inch here, 4K. Yeah, there you go. The sequel fucking sucks though. The sequel sucks, but throw that away. Throw that away. I don't know what happened with that sequel, but I hated it. But so I set up a TV here, and that's what I watched Man of Steel on. And I was like, yes, now I got to start watching these epic movies right here, still can record my reaction and do it the best way I can, because that's, I mean, I want to give it to the audience as well too, like watching it and experience it. If I can't watch it on the big screen, I'll watch it here on the biggest screen that I can, So I do plan to do those two. People were even asking me, have you watched the like Aquaman and Flash? And I said I actually have not. I've only seen Wonder Woman and the second Wonder Woman film.
Okay.
That's it.
As Zack Snyder fans, we're going to tell you that for us, okay, I'm not speaking to the rest, but for us as Zack Snyder fans, it's those three movies. Everything else,
that's good.
Whatever. Don't like that's not the Snyder Verse. Those three movies are the Snyder Verse. We consider anything that came after that or to be a separate universe. Basically, that's kind of how I look at it. I mean, you could kind of throw Wonder Woman into Zack Snyder's universe if you want to, the first movie, but other than that, a lot of people will argue that you could put Aquaman in there. I say no, me personally as well. After you see Zack Snyder's Justice League, if you watch Aquaman, there's a lot of tonal differences. There were a lot of creative differences between the two projects. And that's kind of why I separate the two. But yeah,
gotcha.
I think you're going to love them. I think you are going to absolutely love BVS. I think you are going to lose your mind when you see Zack Snyder's Justice League. And the other thing I don't want to torture you into doing this, but I would also say if you want to get an understanding of why this fight has been so vigorous for us, after you're done watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, go watch the theatrical version that they actually put out there.
Oh, is that not included in this?
No,
this 4K.
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay. Yeah. See, I literally got this in the mail today, so I don't know. God damn, 242 minutes. Jesus, what are you guys doing to me? What are you doing to me?
I don't want you to pay for a disc for the original Justice League, the theatrical version, but I'm sure you could find it on a streaming platform for free.
Uh-huh.
If you have HBO Max, you can watch it in
It's
HBO
there.
Max.
Yeah, I just want you to
Okay.
watch it so you actually get a real understanding of what went on.
Did I read this right? 200. How long is this movie? Is this 4
hours.
hours?
Yes, but here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. It's actually.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I did not. No, I really did not know that.
Flix, it's actually broken down into chapters too. So that's the other cool thing. Is
Okay.
like you could, if you don't want to watch it all in one sitting, you could watch like the first. I think what are there 8 chapters? How many chapters are in the movie?
It's 6.
I don't
6. So you can watch like the first 3 chapters one day and then watch the next 3 chapters. Because originally when they
know.
released,
I will
this
have to
movie,
break
Flix,
it down. Yeah.
Yeah, what they were going to do is they wanted to actually release it episodically on HBO Max. They wanted to release chapter 1 first, then chapter 2, then chapter. But there were contract issues and they couldn't do that. So eventually it came.
Maybe I'll do a 2-part reaction on that one just so it's not so long, because something like a 4-hour like a 2-hour movie, for example, I like to throw, and this is where I've learned along the way from reactions, is that I went from just putting the parts where I react, which people hated, to actually adding all the context of what scene I'm watching, so people get a better understanding for why I'm reacting like to this scene or giving my commentary. So something like that, like a 2-hour movie, I would like to do like at least an hour reaction. So that's gonna have to be a 2-parter for sure.
Yeah.
But
Dude, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna
let's
love
hope I have enough storage here on my hard drive to record. But I'm with it, guys.
Anyway, so final thoughts for me, guys. Like I said, it sucks that we do have to take this pause for the live shows for the next little bit. But like I said, we are going to do our best to keep providing you guys with our video content, with our edited videos, I guess you could call them. We're going to do our best. And like I said, I do plan on launching the Rock Talk show in the near future. So I'm going to be shifting my focuses towards that as well. And I cannot wait till we can get back to regular schedule. You guys, anybody who knows me and knows, you can ask Phil, like when we were discussing putting an end or going on pause for this next little bit, it's not where I personally want to go. But at the end of the day, I respect everybody's decisions for where they are in life, what they need to do. And I think that in this last year, we have put way too much time and way too much effort into this to say goodbye. And I won't do that. I won't allow that to happen to this platform. I promise you guys, I will not allow that to happen to this platform. But right now, like I said, we're going to take this little hiatus. We're going to see how things go. I want the people who I work with, guys, to be comfortable doing what they do. And unfortunately, if we're living in an environment or in a climate where people can't feel comfortable doing what they love to do, I think that's sad, to be honest with you, that's where we are in this world, where people don't even feel comfortable just really having conversations about things that they love because they're so torn about what's going on outside of this, if you understand what I'm getting at. But like I said, this journey, guys, the Lethal Geeks journey, this is still just the beginning. We have so much more to come, and I promise you, down the road, it will come. Phil, you're getting quiet over there.
I'm just smoking here.
Yeah, he's zoning out. He's zoning out.
Getting some inspiration, dude.
He's in the
vibe
right now.
No, like Flix, again, thank you very much for it's a pleasure to have you here, man. Absolutely open invitation. We can definitely collab again in the future. And even like when we doing film reviews, like if there's some movie that we want to review that's very epic, we could definitely, collab and do the review together, etc. So we can definitely work and do more stuff. When it comes to the live shows, guys, yeah. So I have to take this break to recharge because again, I'm moving back to Chile. So, but I do understand that Rox was telling me the other day was that refresh my memory, Rox, about giving hope to people.
What I tried to stress to Phil before we made any rational decisions is that it seems like we're living in a time where people have all this negative shit going on everywhere they look, everywhere they turn. And when people come to our platform, when people come here, that shit doesn't matter anymore. They're able to let all that go. We're actually here to all geek out. We're all here to talk. We're all here to have conversation. And we're all here to forget about that shit. You get what I'm saying? So a platform like ours, in a time like now, I don't want voices to go away that are inspiring people, that are giving people hope, that are making people feel good about what they enjoy. I don't want voices like that to go away in a time like now when those voices are needed the most. We and people like us and people who entertain, people who make you laugh, people who make you cry, people who make you feel, we need more of us in times like now. We need more of that in times like now where everything is so political and polarizing and bullshit. We need more of us. We need more of us to step up and more of us to do what we do, because what we do makes you feel good, makes me feel good. It makes you smile. It makes me smile. And at the end of the day, isn't that what really matters, guys? Isn't that what really matters? That what we do with our time, we enjoy and we smile. So yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to express to Phil, was that right now, I think it's more important than ever that voices like ours are heard. So that makes sense to everybody?
So
Makes sense.
To finish in my point, besides all what Rox said, we got to make it shorter, but okay, you made it long.
Sorry. I'm not good at, cutting myself down, dude. I got to just go with it.
That's why it motivated me to get up and running now with the content. So to now do comics, because yeah, I have a lot of comics that I haven't read that I want to catch up, and just like Flix does with all the movies, I'm doing now with the comics. So this is a way for also to the channel to still keep going, and for us to give you guys more content, and also for me to recharge but still be around, and Charles also, and Rox as well. So, fuck you, Sid Havoc.
I love you, Sid. Love you, buddy. Anyways,
so, damn it, my earpiece. Hold on.
All right, buddy. Technical issues.
Yeah, I know my headphone just died, so I'm just turning the volume down. Can you talk?
Good. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Good.
So that's pretty much it, guys. So that's why we're not going away, but we'll still be doing content, but also, like I said, we're bringing other guests of higher caliber, quality, and also to get some of my own personal stuff in check in life, because I am going to be going through some life changes now, basically, and I need to focus on that as well, because the podcast has taken a lot of my energy, my time, my focus. I recently broke up with my girlfriend, and not because of the podcast, just for other things in life. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on in me now. So hence why I need to, guys, take a step back, but not going anywhere. Lethal Geeks aren't going anywhere. So
and that's also not to say too that one of the things that me and Phil discussed is that if we do feel like there is a reason to have an impromptu episode for an important topic or for a special guest, that could very well happen, guys. Like we're not saying no to all of that. We're just saying that for now there's going to be a bit of a pause, But like Phil stressed, it's going to be about quality. What we want to bring to this show are guests of quality. And that is going to be the focus going forward once we get back to doing shows on a consistent basis.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So thank you very much. And also, please go and subscribe to Flix Talks channel. Link is on the description. And also, guys, go check out the issue I did now, the video, the one shot
Batman #1
for celebrating Batman Day. So expect a few more comic book reviews coming very soon, guys. So love you guys. Take care. Be safe. And Flix.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Have a good night, ladies and gents.